Donovan, I want you to say let's have a chit chat just because
he's in his car.
You're in a funny scenario right now. Okay.
Okay.
I forgot I have before you say it I have to do the first
intro.
one.
Do the intro.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
I gotta do the classic. I haven't done it yet.
Oh, okay.
Ah!
The funny.
We're recording.
Mom,
I know, right?
What did she say? Like,
He's like, well, it's only 10 minutes after 11.
oh, yeah. All right. Let's go. We got a lot to cover today. Welcome back to Chit Chats, everybody. My name is Antonio.
My name's Brennan.
And I'm Donavan, driving right now. And let's have a chit chat.
Yay, Chit Chats! Yay, guys. How's my audio right now? Does it sound okay?
Yeah.
Sound beautiful.
I sound beautiful. Okay, hell yeah.
Yep,
All right. Oh wait, let me get the sign on in the background there. I don't know if you get it's backwards on my screen, but you guys can see it. Oh, well, it's forwards there.
I can't see it. I'm driving. I cannot see it.
Oh, I just realized Brennan said earlier he can't see me. Well, now he just left. I don't know if he intended to leave, but I'm assuming he left with the intention of rejoining so he could see my stream. I could be wrong though. Maybe
Probably.
maybe his computer died. Oh, there he is. He's back. Okay.
My Discord killed itself.
Wait, so Brendan, didn't you say you can't see my stream? Or you can't see my camera?
No, you're good. It's just every time I turn my camera on, it turns yours off for a second. So
oh, okay. But can you see it now?
Yeah.
Did you ever see the neon sign I got?
Yeah, you showed
Oh, I did show that to you, didn't I? Yeah.
When I was hanging out with you last.
That's right. Okay. When we watched that terrible video. Okay. Anyway, we don't have to talk about that. So today, guys, it's been a while since we've done a Chit Chats together. It feels like a little bit of a momentous occasion.
Yeah.
And what better thing to do for a momentous Chit Chats than another tier list, because these episodes are always somewhat of a grand occasion. And guys, today, what's up?
I'd also like, just real quick, I'd like to point out, I just realized this is the first Chit Chat in I think over maybe 50 episodes that I actually said my name.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Holy shit, I didn't even think about that.
Wait,
oh my
that's
god.
true.
Whoa.
And this is the second chit chats where I've been driving during it.
Oh my god. Wow, so many things are happening at once right now. Wait.
So many things are happening.
Wait, Brennan, I have two questions. Brennan, did you intend on saying your actual name, or was that like what was the
No. I just like completely didn't think of a name.
You were just spacing about it? Okay. I love it. And then my other question is, Donovan, what was the other episode that you were driving in? Because I know that happened, but I don't remember.
It was the one where you guys were doing a debate night, and it was with Dean and Brennan.
Oh, that's right.
And I was just listening.
You were just
but
listening
at the
to
end, I jumped in. Yeah.
That's right. Okay, well, Donovan's getting out of his car. All right, just in time. Looks like you're getting home. But just to introduce everything here. So today, guys, we're doing potentially the tier list to end all tier lists, and by that I mean it's not even really a tier list. Donovan just left. He'll be right back, I'm assuming. We're doing the tier list. I don't know if you know what? I'm gonna wait for Donovan to come back.
Go team!
Yay! Guys, today we are potentially doing the tier list to end all tier list, and by that I mean it's not even really a tier list. It's just. Today we're going to be talking about Smash Brothers characters, and the question I want to pose to you guys is, Smash Brothers Ultimate has so many fighters, and some might even call it the Ultimate Smash Brothers, and they're going to make more in the future. But I don't think they're going to have all of these characters in the next game. I think that it's inevitable. Some of them are getting cut. Maybe we're going to start somewhat from scratch. But today, guys, we're going to be essentially doing what Nintendo will do eventually. We're going to be cutting the Smash roster. We're going to be going through each character and just kind of discussing whether or not we think they should stay in the next Smash Brothers, whether or not they should get the boot, whatever it may have you. And
Are you telling me that they're going to cut Dark Pit eventually?
Well, I don't know. They might. That's a possibility.
God forbid.
And we're gonna discuss if we think that should happen or not, or if that shouldn't happen. Now, as you guys can see here, I have this little. It's set up like a tier list, but there's only 2 tiers. There's keeping them and get them out of here. I get them out of there.
Yeah, man.
So originally, I had the idea of ordering these by like the order of which they were introduced into the series. So at that rate, we would have started with Mario and ended with Sora. But I thought it might be a little bit more interesting if we went in alphabetical order, because then it's a little bit more jumbled up and kind of like it's a little bit less structured. It's a little bit kind of all over the place. We're going to be going from like a newer character to an older character to a newer character. You know, I thought that might be a little bit more interesting to discuss them in that order. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Really quick before we get started, like what is your guys' kind of like opinion on Smash Brothers? Do you love Smash Brothers? Do you hate Smash Brothers? What's your take on the series?
I love Smash Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Smash Brothers series is just a classic in general. From every single Smash Brothers is fun to play. There's others that might be more fun than others, but every single one has its perks and its fun moments. And I think might be a controversial topic, but I think when it comes to video game brawls, Smash Brothers is probably one of the best out there. When it comes to like,
I wouldn't argue with that.
Bringing a bunch of different games and like different consoles together into one game.
Mm-hmm.
It is definitely the
most
crossover
iconic
fighting game. Speaking of brawls, I wanted to ask like, what like okay, so my first Smash Brothers was Brawl, and that was how I was introduced to the series. And Donavan, that's how you were introduced to the series, right?
That's how I was.
Yeah, you introduced me to the
of
series
us.
because you brought Brawl over to my house.
That's
when
right.
we were
Yeah,
kids.
I didn't even know what like Smash Brothers was. I just saw Pikachu on the cover, and I was like, "Oh, Pikachu!" Oh, and I saw Mario on the cover. I didn't even know who Link was at the time. I know. And
I knew who Link was, but that was like one of the only other ones besides the Mario characters that I knew.
yeah, and so
And Sonic.
and it's funny because Brawl is like almost considered to be. Well, I think maybe nowadays it's like considered. I feel like there's maybe a little bit more appreciation for Brawl, but I feel like for a while it was like one of the more controversial ones.
Yeah.
But I still have a lot of fun memories of playing Brawl. I still think that's a great game.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay.
My dad is calling me. I gotta answer his call real quick. We return. Sorry.
You're good. All right. Let me
There's some technical difficulties.
Let me reshare. I know
chat.
there's this like everything. Like Murphy's Law. Okay. Anyway, let's get right into it. Here, we're starting off with Banjo Kazooie. So I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm just gonna come out right out and say I think we should kick him out.
Well, okay. So I think, that I've seen this video idea done before by other YouTubers, and like some of them rank them based on like if they want them in the game, like they're one of their favorite characters.
Yeah.
And some of them rank them based on like legacy. So like my question is like, do you think we should be ranking them to keep or not to keep based on like their legacy and like how big the character is? Or should it be like a variety of reasons or what?
I mean, I think between each, personally for me, I think between each character there's going to be like subtleties, but I'm overall going off of like general opinion, like how relevant is this character in like the history of gaming, and like you can kind of use your own judgment on how you want to rank characters, and we can kind of debate, but that's kind of how I'm going to be going. It's going to be a lot less personal for me. And with Banjo-Kazooie, like I understand, and obviously Banjo-Kazooie is a character that's a lot more relevant to like people maybe a generation older than us, but even still, I still understand like Banjo-Kazooie's place in like, gaming history. I guess more specifically like Nintendo history, but but even with that in mind, I just don't feel like they're like I don't think Banjo-Kazooie is so much of a grand character that they like that they need to have a spot in Smash Brothers. You know what I mean?
I feel like it was kind of a one-time thing, as much as I hate to say it. Like, I love that he's in the game,
I
that
do
they're in
too.
the game.
I'm
I do
still
too.
here,
But-
but my camera's going to turn off for a second, but I'm still here.
Okay, no worries.
Like, I just feel like they're owned by Xbox, technically.
Yeah.
And, like, I feel like it was just, like, a one-time deal. I would be so shocked if they return, but, like, that doesn't mean I don't want them to return. Like, I would love if they come back, but I really don't think unless, like, Nintendo and Microsoft make another deal, like, I really don't think it's going to happen. Because it was a miracle in the first place that they were even in the game to begin with.
And honestly, the only way that I would kind of be okay if Banjo-Kazooie returned is if they did another game. If they made another Banjo-Kazooie game and it was like good and like relevant, then I feel like it would be more justified. But like even like now, the last game was Nuts and Bolts, and I don't know how many people like Nuts and Bolts.
Yeah,
but
that was like almost 20 years ago.
And I think
this point, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and I think it's funny because like even then, like Banjo-Kazooie.
That is a great game. You keep your mouth shut. No,
is Nuts and Bolts a good game? I've never played it.
No,
so
it's
I wouldn't
not.
know.
It's not.
I've only seen
Defender.
like the JonTron video of it and whatever. But like even then, I think that the general like when they were putting Banjo-Kazooie in the game, there was no references to that game. It was only the originals. And I'm not saying that they couldn't do another Banjo-Kazooie game and it would work. They've even kind of done like spiritual successors like Yooka-Laylee and all that. But until that happens, I don't think Banjo-Kazooie is an essential character for Smash Brothers. So
I do think that they'll. I mean, this is kind of unrelated. I do think that they'll make another Banjo-Kazooie game someday.
maybe
I kind of think that. I remember when Psychonauts 2 came out and everybody was saying like, "Oh, these devs should make a new Banjo-Kazooie game because they're really good at making 3D platformers." So
yeah.
I could see that down the road. So I think there's potential for him to be relevant again, for those characters to be relevant. But
I agree.
we'll see.
But for now, I'm going to put them. I mean, unless there's any other objections, I'm going to put them in the get them out of here.
No, good crossover. It was cool that it happened, but
Yeah. No, dude, I remember like where I was when the trailer for Banjo-Kazooie came out. I think it was like during an E3 presentation, and I was like, I was so hyped. I watched it like during like, I think I was like working in the office at our school, at our high school, and I just had it pulled up on my phone, and I was like trying to hide it because I didn't want them to like get mad at me. But I was like, I could not wait to watch it. I was just like,
I'm trying to remember. I think it was during school. I think I was in like band class or something.
It was
and I was like
definitely during
watching it
school.
on my music stand.
Yeah. It was so hype. And a lot that's going to be the case with a lot of these characters, but I'm trying to eliminate that like euphoric experience that I remember with like a lot of these. All right, next up we got Bayonetta. So, this is a more interesting one. What do you guys think about Bayonetta in terms of keeping her in Smash or not?
That's a hard one because like Bayonetta is a relevant character and they're owned by Nintendo technically, so like it would be really easy for them to put her in again.
Are they owned by
But-
Nintendo? Is Bayonetta owned by Nintendo? I wasn't
Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
that.
because they're made by Platinum Games and
Yeah.
I don't think Nintendo owns the entirety of that company, but they own that franchise because they bought Bayonetta 2 like through an exclusivity deal, and then it was like only on Wii U
And same with Bayonetta 3. Right?
yeah. I think the one exception is like recently, like very recently, they allowed them to put them on PC, I think. But technically, the character, I'm pretty sure, is owned by Nintendo.
Yeah, I know Bayonetta 1 and 2 are on PC, but I don't think 3, and I don't think the spin-off that they just put out like last year, I think that's also a Switch exclusive. So this is kind of an interesting one for me because I actually do think they should keep Bayonetta for 2 reasons. I think that, one, they just had like 2 games come out in the series for the Switch specifically. And I think that we need more of a range of like mature characters and also like more family-friendly cartoony characters. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I'm thinking.
I think they should keep Bayonetta because she's hot.
Yeah. the spectrum.
Well, yeah, and she's just a boss. Like,
she's a girl
how
boss.
can you not love Bayonetta?
Yeah.
She's a girl boss.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, I say keep her.
Yeah, I'm okay with keeping her. I think she's proven her worth, especially in regards to Nintendo specifically. I think that she has well deserved a spot.
She's also such a different kind of fighter too.
Yes, that's also true. She's got like the whole like combo thing that she can do, which I think is interesting. That's also another thing. Is like
for a second.
Yeah, what's up?
Excuse me for a second.
Uh-huh.
I just have a clarifying question about this list. Are we
Yeah.
trying to cut it like exactly in half?
Well, there is 90 characters. So I would say yes. I'd say since we have an even number, I feel like we should try to go at like for 45 at the most. We could, if we wanted to, we could cut more. If we feel like we should cut more,
I've seen a video where they cut it down to like 25 and it was crazy.
I don't think we should go that far. I feel like
we should do that.
There's too many characters that I feel like do deserve a spot that I don't think we should go that harsh, but 45 at least I think is fair.
Yeah, I agree.
And there is quite a few characters here, which is, I feel like it's kind of interesting to note, that are either like clones or like they come in like a package. Like they're like one of those like characters that can change into another one, which I feel like, well, we can get into that when we get into that. But yeah, another thing I want to say is like, I am not approaching this from like a technical standpoint, like a fighting game, like technical standpoint, because like I'm not good at fighting games. I don't know like all the nuances of like playing them. So like there are some characters that are probably like, oh, we should keep that character because they're like more balanced for like this style of fighting. I don't know any of that, so I'm not going to be going off of that.
My take on what the next Smash Bros game will be is I think that they're going to cut down the characters, but like redo their movesets.
I really hope so.
All the balancing would be different.
That would be nice. That would be really nice. That'd be interesting if they did that.
That I really want them to do that because like Mario's moveset is like kind of,
it's
like
so
a lot
primitive.
of the original characters are so basic.
Yeah, it's very primitive, and it's noticeably so too.
Yeah. Like you can tell that the new characters are like, their movesets are way more thought out.
Yeah. And I think that's like the only, it's like, where do we go from here? I feel like the only way to like make Smash Brothers like fresh and new again is by changing a lot, like movesets and stuff. All right, next up we got Bowser Jr. So one of the many Mario characters that are
Who's the last Mario character that was added besides Piranha Plant? And like
I think
I liked that he's in
Piranha
the game,
Plant.
but it was Piranha Plant, but like before Piranha Plant, it was Bowser Jr.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you're right.
And
yeah, I really like that Bowser Jr. is a character. Like I think it's really interesting. I like that they like incorporate all the Koopalines and all that. But that being said, I do not think he's essential to the game.
No, he's not.
I'm completely okay if they cut him.
Plus, a lot of people don't even like playing as him.
No.
Like I don't know anybody besides you, Antonio, who's like likes playing as him.
I wouldn't say I like playing as him. I like the concept of his character. I like that he's not just like, he doesn't just like punch and kick. He has like more to him because he's in his little clown car. I just think that that's interesting. I don't think he's
he's
super fun to
charming.
play as.
Like it's charming that he's in the game.
Yeah, but that being said, I'm anti Bowser Jr. for this debate. Now Bowser, on the other hand, I feel like he's a mainstay. I feel like we got to keep him.
Yeah,
he's just too iconic.
You got to keep Bowser.
2 words.
Yeah,
Bowser suicide.
Yeah.
What?
Are
you trying to get rid of Bowser?
No. I'm saying
Okay,
that's why
okay.
he's got to stay in the game was because of Bowser's
Okay.
suicide.
Brennen. Brennen. What if we have him voiced by Jack Black
Yes.
instead of making
No, Brennen
like dinosaur
isn't arguing. Brennen isn't arguing against Bowser. He's saying Bowser's down. Let's
Yeah,
say
no, I
down
know.
B move. Let's not say the other word. His down B move is like
His
part of
unalive move.
it's yes. I would be okay if they had Jack Black voice him. I think that would be very fitting. In fact, why don't we do that for all the Mario characters? You know,
Yeah.
why don't we have
Actually, if they bring back Bowser, they should not bring back Bowser Jr., but they should just bring back Roy. Just Roy by himself.
like
Roy
the
Koopa.
like the Koopa Roy Koopa? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Roy
or
Koopa.
Ludwig. What about Ludwig? What about
and Ludwig, yeah.
Yeah, but just
Maybe
cut
Wendy?
Bowser Jr. Yeah, Ludwig. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, next we have Byleth. So Byleth is a controversial character. And yeah, I don't think. I mean, there's Bi in his name. I feel like that means something. Yeah. I never was a fan of. I mean, I'm not gonna say that I hate like all the Fire Emblem characters. I just like I don't think they need like they all feel like so similar. Is my problem. You know what I mean?
Most of them do, yeah. There's a couple Fire Emblem characters when we get to it. I'll talk about it that I think deserve to stay, but most of them are just like they're a little too similar. Like I know they try to change some things and not make them too similar, but when most of their base is still kind of the same.
Yeah.
I think in terms of like the Fire Emblem characters, and we'll get into it more later down the list, but like I think that they'll just keep the ones that are like iconic that like everybody knows. Like not everybody knows Byleth. Yeah. And as much as I think that they'd like to have some sort of Three Houses representation in the next Smash Bros., I don't think that they need a full character for that. I really just think that they put them in the game like to basically advertise for Three Houses, and that's it.
I totally agree. I like if you look at it like all of the like main player characters from like the last 3 Fire Emblem games were in Smash, and it was like right after they came out, and it was just like it was pretty. I think it was just to bring more attention to their releasing, which is fine for the time, but like I don't think they are like essential to be in the roster. But like you said, I do think some of them should potentially stay, and we'll talk about that. So next up we got Captain Falcon. So this is an interesting one.
Falcon.
This is a really interesting one. The thing about Captain Falcon is that he has only remained relevant because of Smash Brothers. Literally nothing else. There has been
they'll throw him a bone every once in a while. Like,
well, they give
F-Zero 99.
That's true.
And
that is true.
He was in Mario Kart, or not him, but like
his cart,
his stages.
And there was the stages. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But he's not really relevant. I know what you mean.
Yeah. Well, and even then, it's less so like him and more so just F-Zero as a franchise. But like he is the face of F-Zero, so.
I feel like Nintendo like has this like philosophy about some of their franchises where like they just don't really care about them anymore, and like they don't know like how to evolve them, and F-Zero is kind of one of those franchises. Like I feel like if it's Nintendo making this game, they'll cut Captain Falcon, but like I feel like the only reason that they keep him in is because it's Sakurai making the game. And it's like technically a separate company.
Yeah, that's true. But it's also, keep in mind, you know, like, well, I feel like there's debate for this, but like Sakurai, like he kind of implied like he was done with developing Smash Brothers. You know,
after Smash 4 though.
Oh, did he say that?
I think he did, and then he came back, and it's like a Miyazaki thing where like he just keeps coming back. I feel like he'll be back again.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't know. I've always kind of looked at it like we're also kind of thinking about it like, oh, maybe there's like a different developer that's making the games now. But
maybe
it's a good. I mean, like there is a good chance that he'll come back just because like Smash Brothers is. I feel like it's just like his baby in a sense, you know. And I would love if he came back. I think that he's like a phenomenal like developer or like director.
I'll say this. I think if it's Nintendo
Yeah.
developing the game, I think he's cut. If Sakurai comes back and develops the next game, I think he's still in.
But also, like, Nintendo knows how popular Captain Falcon is as a Smash Brothers character. I mean, he was part of the original game, which I feel like is worth something. I don't think just because you were part of the original game that means you have to stay in it. And we'll get into that more. But with Captain Falcon specifically, I personally think they should keep him. I think he's too iconic in Smash Brothers. You know what I mean? Like with Falcon Punch and like Show Me Your Moves. Like I don't know.
I agree.
You know, my heart would be
I definitely
broken if he was
think. I definitely think, for me at least, I think he's kind of on the fence. Like he could easily be cut. I think still.
I agree with you. I do think it's nice that they gave us F-Zero 99 recently, because that kind of shows hope that like Nintendo at least still has F-Zero on their radar, you know?
Sure.
That being said, who knows if they're going to do anything with it.
7 people care about that, right?
That's true.
Like
That's true. It had a good player base in the beginning, but I feel like that's gone down though. I don't know, but
yeah, probably. People are just playing against bots now.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, next up we got Charizard, the first of many Pokemon.
Okay, wait. I have a question about this one. Then,
okay,
like, are we doing like just Charizard, or is it like Pokemon Trainer?
I guess I have Pokemon Trainer.
Because you have the 3 Pokemon, but also the Pokemon Trainer on there.
Yeah,
because
right.
The only one who would technically be different would be Charizard.
Let's do all of them at once. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because we can look at this 2 different ways. Because Charizard can either be part of Pokemon Trainer, or he was a separate character in 3DS and Wii U.
Yeah.
And a lot of people actually preferred this Charizard solo than over the Charizard that is attached to Pokemon Trainer, because I think he got like a slight buff, and then also his down B was like Rock Smash or something like that. And it was really powerful.
So here's like just really quick. This is my interpretation of having each of those 4 on here. Like each of the Pokemon on their own is just judging them specifically as a character. Pokemon Trainer is that's like all 3 of them combined. So that being said, though, that being explained and clarified, I don't think any of them need to be in the series. Like maybe Charizard.
I don't think any of them need to be.
Yeah.
But like I just think that Pokemon Trainer as a concept does such a great job at representing the Pokemon franchise in Smash Bros.
That's true.
And like I would hate to see that character cut.
Yeah. That's fair. Cuz I I'll be honest, like when I was going into it, I was like when I was thinking about it to myself before we started recording, I was like, Squirtle's getting cut, Ivysaur's getting cut, Charizard maybe, Pokemon Trainer I'm on the fence about. But when you put it like that is like a good point.
I don't know. I would love to see them like bring back, like I'm just speculating now, but I would love to see them bring back Pokemon Trainer, but maybe do like Blastoise and then Charmeleon and Bulbasaur or something like that.
Like around the starters.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah,
like
that
I
would
don't
be
think that they
interesting.
would, but I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, or maybe even do like Pokemon from like other generations or something. You know what I mean? Like just a trio of new Pokemon, just to keep things fresh. But that would also be like a lot of development on their part, because they'd basically be like developing 3 different characters that kind of just fall into one, which I think would be kind of. I mean, like they've done it before, so I guess it's not like they wouldn't do it again. But that's a tough one.
Personally speaking, like I could see them just bringing back Charizard, or I could see them bringing back Pokemon Trainer as a whole. But I don't think that, like either way, I don't think that at least a part of them is going to be cut. You know?
Yeah, I'm inclined to say that Squirtle and Ivysaur are just not like essential on their own, like individually. You know? Charizard is one of the most well-known Pokemon. Charizard. I feel like he's one of the most well-known Pokemon in general, so I just feel like that would be why they'd want to keep him. But Pokemon Trainer, I also think is like, you know what? I think I'm gonna say that like I think I would want Pokemon Trainer to stay, and I'd want to see them do something more with him. But I'm okay if they cut Charizard because he's kind of had his time in the spotlight, you know. That's, yeah. Is that a valid stance to have?
Yeah, I think that's fair. And like you said, I would love to see them do like different Pokemon for Pokemon Trainer.
Yeah, because Pokemon is a huge franchise, so like I do think that, you know, eliminating my own bias, they should still have like good representation for Pokemon. But
yeah, well, that's another part of it too. Is like I feel like Smash Bros does a good job at representing like the Pokemon franchises in terms of the Pokemon themselves, but like there's also like human characters in Pokemon that are interesting too, and so I like that they're kind of represented through that character.
That's true. And I think that they should have more of a variety of like in terms of the look of the Pokemon Trainer. Like they should have more costumes for him rather than just from other regions. You know what I mean? I feel like that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Moving on to Chrom. Out of here. I don't know. Is there any debate?
Nope.
Do we need to spend like a lot of time on this one? I feel
he's
Not really.
whose Echo Fighter is he again?
I think he's Ike's Echo Fighter, if I'm not mistaken.
Isn't he like a cross between Ike's and Roy's? I think
he's like a cross between Ike's and Roy's.
But he looks like Marth. So it's like, you know, I don't know. No, either way,
I get the reason they put him in, especially with the whole like joke with Robin and shit. But like he did not. We already have a good Echo Fighter for the Fire Emblem characters, which we'll get to, is not even needed. But like, we did not need another one.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree.
Can we talk about Robin then? Because I don't know.
We can talk about Robin.
Should we not skip around or?
I mean, we're like I don't care a whole lot. Like we could skip around if we want to. I kind of have them laid out like this, one because it was alphabetical order, and two just because like it was already like random enough. But like I don't really care if you want to talk about, if you think we should talk about Robin now, I'm cool with it.
So okay, it's weird because the Fire Emblem series is weird.
Yeah,
I almost feel like we should just talk about the entire Fire Emblem series at once and just do all the characters one by one. But like, I feel like they want to represent Awakening in some capacity because it kind of revived the franchise. And they have Chrom, they have Lucina, and they have Robin. And so I feel like they would cut two of them and include one. And I'm
okay.
I just don't know which one they would do. Like I would want to say Robin because
I would say Robin
is
because
the most interesting to me.
And the other two are Echo Fighters.
Yes.
True.
In terms of
Chrom's an Echo Fighter of Ike, with some Roy mixed in, and then Lucina is the definition of an Echo Fighter with Marth.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah,
and this is coming from someone whose main was Lucina in the 3DS Wii U era.
Right. Well,
and even I'm like they've had their time to shine. Like, I don't think they have
little nuances in like how they control and how they feel, but like that's it.
Yeah.
And it's like it's not like if Lucina was cut and like Brennen, you were like insistent on like playing as her, like it's not like you couldn't just play as Marth, right? And like get a similar feel at that point.
At that point, they could just have Marth as a character and then have Lucina as a skin of Marth.
Yeah, that's also true. That's also a good point. Like there's very little reason. It's so weird to me who they decide to make Echo Fighters and who they decide to make like alternate costumes sometimes, you know what I mean?
Like Alf.
Like Alf, exactly.
Don't start me on that. Don't even start me on
it's that. So I don't know, man. It's so weird. But anyway, okay, but I agree with you that Robin is like I think we should keep Robin. If not only because his moveset is more interesting than the other Fire Emblem characters. You know what I mean?
I love Robin. I think he's an actual good like representation of the Fire Emblem.
Yeah, because like that's what makes them feel so similar is that they all fight with swords. And yeah, Robin fights with swords, but that's like I don't feel like that's what he's like primarily known for, which is like nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or they
Well,
rather.
I'm pretty sure
because
there's like a
male,
skill
female.
tree in the Fire Emblem games, I think, if I'm not mistaken, where like you can choose to use like a sword or magic, or like there's different ways to fight. So I feel like they want to represent that in some capacity too.
Yes, I agree. Corrin, I feel like is fine to get cut. You know, I don't even remember what was
I have no feelings.
he was in Fates, right? That was the game. Yeah, I don't even think people liked Fates. I think Fates was like a lesser game for a lot of Fire Emblem fans, so I don't think people are going to be crying over him. Ike. So
You gotta keep
Ike.
You gotta keep Ike.
Yeah,
You gotta
okay.
keep
You're
Ike.
right.
Ike's one of the original Fire Emblem representatives.
That's true. Well, technically not.
I think wasn't Roy technically the first.
Marth and Roy were in Melee.
Okay.
And then Ike was introduced in Brawl. And I now here's the thing about that. So Lucina, I will say we'll cut Lucina. We won't even.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like I said, I loved her, but she has no reason.
we'll say she can be an Echo Fighter or like a alternate costume for Marth, right? So Roy and Marth, I feel like Marth should stay, if not only because he's just been more of a constant in Smash Brothers, and also like in Fire Emblem like lore. I feel like, and I guess you could say the same thing about Roy, but like, it's interesting to me that they cut Roy from Brawl, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe they replaced him with Ike, but like I don't know if like Roy is.
That was the idea at the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's too iconic though. Like I don't know.
Well, yeah, he is
In
our
my
boy.
in my personal opinion, they're both like deserving of coming back.
Okay.
But if I had to pick between one of them,
Yeah.
I feel like even though Roy may have came first, were they in the same game? They came out at the same time, right?
I don't think they were in the same game. I think, but if you mean Smash Brothers game, yeah, they were introduced both in Melee.
Yeah, I meant like they're introduced at the same time.
Yes.
Is it something about Marth is always like I feel like Marth has been such a better face of the Fire Emblem games in Smash
Marth
Brothers.
is the face of Fire
I would
Emblem
say
in
so,
general,
yeah.
I feel like you have to
At
keep
least in
Marth.
the
Like
West.
even if there's
At least in
no
the
other
West.
Fire Emblem characters, you have to keep Marth.
Yeah, I'm okay. I guess I'm okay if we keep Roy, but I will say like if we're a little bit like heavy on the ones that we're keeping later on, I would be okay cutting Roy, I think.
See, at that point, like I almost feel like Ike would get cut before Roy, because I feel like Roy is too iconic to Smash Bros.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but people complained so much about Ike being changed that they literally gave him two different skins for his Radiance version and one for his
Yeah.
I can't remember the other one, but
Yeah, I don't know. We'll you know what? We'll keep them both for now, but if it comes down to it, we will return to that discussion.
Yeah, and I will say just in general about Fire Emblem, like I feel like they could just include different characters. Like you don't have to have Robin. You could have like a magic wielder from another Fire Emblem game.
That's
you know?
true. But we're just going off of like the existing roster. But obviously, if they end up like more or less replacing a character with a newer one, I think that's also valid. Next, we have Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. So this is an interesting one, another interesting one, because I think at the time when they introduced him in the series, like I think it was like a novelty, but now there's a little bit more of like a reason to keep him. I feel like with like the remakes coming out, right?
Yeah, but they're PlayStation exclusive.
That's also true. I just meant like in terms of his relevance as a character, like he's more in the public eye because of those games, but like
I mean, like Final Fantasy is so iconic, and it would hurt so much if they got rid of its representation in Smash Bros. In my opinion.
Yeah, and I feel like,
I don't know.
That is a good point. I guess. Because, I mean, like, I don't know if, like, Cloud himself... Well, would you say that Cloud is, like, the most iconic Final Fantasy character?
Oh, yeah. By far.
Then, yeah.
Him and Sephiroth.
Right. Yeah, I think, like, I don't have as much personal, like
everyone in the game
yeah.
that Cloud is from is, like, the most known Final Fantasy VII cast is like the most known and most popular. Like, even though we didn't get like some of the other characters as fighters, we got almost all of them as Mii fighter costumes.
Oh,
I
did
think.
we? Oh, was that? Is that
Like,
true?
I'm pretty sure we got Tifa as a fighter.
We got the Chocobo hat. I know that.
Yeah.
Um,
But it's just like,
Have a chocobo. He's just replaced by a chocobo.
yeah,
but like Cloud is just
no,
such like a big face of Final Fantasy, and so I feel
yeah,
like what they would probably do is, I don't think they get rid of Cloud, but I just think there's a good chance that we would never get another anything close to like another Final Fantasy character, because they'd be like, nope, here's the face of the most popular game. We're gonna keep him
yeah,
here just to show that we're in cahoots with the Final Fantasy series.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and that's the reality of it, I guess. But I'm
Okay.
okay if Cloud stays. I like.
Can we
Cloud.
talk about the elephant in the room then, and talk about Mr. Sephiroth down there?
We can talk about Sephiroth.
Okay.
What's your take on Sephiroth?
I'm kind of interested in hearing Donovan's opinion on this, because I almost want to say it's going to be opposite of mine.
I don't think it is. I love that Sephiroth is in the game,
Okay.
and I really want them to keep him because he's another iconic villain character. And if there's one thing that Smash Bros. like Ultimate improves so much on having more villain characters as playable,
Yeah,
and I want them. I just don't want them to get rid of him. Like Sephiroth as a character is too iconic. He's a badass. Like,
Donovan,
I think they know that.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, Donovan. That's
Thank
pretty much the same here. I think that Sephiroth is one of the most badass villains in gaming history, especially with. I don't know if. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if either one of you played Final Fantasy VII or the remake. I've played both, and I'm really excited for Rebirth.
Yeah.
But
I want to play him.
I've also seen the movie, which I know a lot of people don't like, but I actually quite enjoyed it. The Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. And Sephiroth is still a boss in that in that movie. And so like Cloud getting his like iconic villain, so we get another like hero versus the like abusive, like tormenting villain. It was one of the coolest things seeing him getting added to Smash.
I really think looking back at the Ultimate DLC, I think that like them adding Cloud is one of the coolest things to come out of that DLC. Legitimately,
that was super like hype at the time when they announced it. I feel like he was like almost like the most hype of the Smash 4 DLC. I would argue even, like,
yeah,
because like
sure.
Ryu was cool, but like I feel like it was a little bit more like, okay, that's cool, but sure. But then when Cloud, I remember when Cloud was announced, like everyone was like,
yeah,
holy shit.
No, Cloud was something like people thought that would never happen ever.
Yeah,
because like they're like Final Fantasy VII is like that's like a Sony game. Like,
yeah.
You can't have a Sony character in your Nintendo game, but
like
I feel like that opened the door for so many more possibilities when Cloud was added.
Oh, I agree, and I feel like that alone is like worth highlighting. And I actually agree with you guys. I think Sephiroth should stay, if not only if there was like one reason. I think it's just because I think we do need more like villain representation in Smash Brothers, and I think Sephiroth is, like you guys said, like a very iconic villain in the pantheon of gaming, and he's the one-winged angel. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm cool if we keep him.
We do a little bit of rapid fire here.
Yeah, sure. We can do a little bit of rapid fire. Daisy, cut.
Get rid of.
Make it a costume. Dark Pit, bye. You're gone.
Bye.
Make it a costume.
Diddy Kong, I don't know. I don't know.
They could cut Diddy Kong.
Yeah.
Honestly, what I want them to do, I'm just talking about what I want them to do at this point.
Yeah.
I want them to replace Diddy Kong with Dixie Kong because I think she's more interesting. But
yeah.
I don't think they would do that.
No, I don't think they would either. I wish that they would like at least make Dixie Kong a costume, but I feel like it would work less because like they are different characters. And they have, I don't know, at least in like the Donkey Kong games, they have like different like attributes and stuff. But that's a tough one though. Sure. I don't know, because I like Diddy Kong. because he's like a little monkey. You know what I mean?
I feel like I kind of missed the bandwagon for Diddy Kong. Is like, I feel like he was more of a thing during like the SNES N64 days. I didn't grow up with that shit, so I'm kind of like ambivalent towards Diddy Kong.
You played Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. You
Yeah, I played Returns. I played Tropical Freeze,
Yeah.
but like, I don't really have an attachment to him.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't really give a shit.
Okay, yeah. Okay, fine. Brennan,
Yeah.
what's your take? Get rid of him?
I could give two fucks about the monkey.
Okay, all right, fair enough. All right, Dark Samus gone.
I'm out of here.
Donkey Kong.
Funky Kong though.
You
Funky
gotta
Kong?
keep. Okay, Funky Kong. We can make a case for Funky Kong. We can make a case for him if he was
so
here.
hard.
That would go so hard. Yes.
I'm
So-
opening my mouth. I'm opening my mouth on an opinion too. The reason that fucking Dark Pit and Dark Samus can get the fuck out of here is if they're gonna make Dark Link stay as a fucking skin, they can stay as skins. They don't need to be their own fucking separate
I
character.
agree.
I agree. Yeah, but Donkey Kong though, you gotta keep Donkey Kong.
You gotta keep.
There's
Donkey
no debate there. You gotta change up his moveset. I think they should try to give him a little bit of a adjusted moveset because right now he's just Big Ape Punch Man, which is okay, but maybe make him a little bit more like, interesting, I guess. I don't know. I want more respect for the ape. I want more respect for the ape. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Duck Hunt, get out of here. I love Duck Hunt.
What? No, I hard disagree on that.
Really?
I hard disagree.
Really?
On that.
Okay. I thought. Okay, my bad.
I really want them to keep Duck Hunt, and like, he's iconic, man. Like Duck Hunt on SNES or on NES, like that's such a, I don't know, like maybe not modern day. I just feel like that is Nintendo history right there. Like you don't keep the Ice Climbers, you keep Duck Hunt on.
Well, okay. Well, no, I kind of agree with you. If not, like, only because, like, I think Duck Hunt is, like, one of the more well-known NES games because it was packaged with Super Mario Bros. And I feel like that is also, like, a reason why so many people know who Duck Hunt is or what Duck Hunt is.
Exactly.
And so, like, I understand keeping him, but also, like, I just feel like, I don't know. That's a tough one.
Can I put it for you in different terms?
Okay, sure. Go for it.
We have 4 like legacy classic Nintendo characters. We have Duck Hunt Dog, Ice Climbers, Game & Watch, and Rob.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Who of those 4, who is representing Nintendo history the best?
Rob.
No.
Yeah, I'm just saying what we're all thinking here. No,
I don't think it's Game & Watch. I don't think it's Rob. I don't think it's Ice Climbers. I'm convinced it's Duck Hunt.
I would make a case for Game & Watch because
where's my Game & Watch? I just remember I have a Game & Watch. I don't know where it is.
That's one of the reasons because Game & Watch has had like a nostalgia like kind of like resurgence because of the re-releases that they've done. Which kind of ties it back to the old ones, which is Nintendo history, Donovan. You cannot deny that. The old
I agree with that.
handheld Game & Watches. Ice Climbers, I don't care. I think the only thing that makes them interesting is that they're like 2 characters that you play as in once. Yeah, there you go. There's the Game & Watch.
Cool.
But I'm okay if they're cut. I don't have much of an attachment for them. Rob, I think is cute, it's like kind of like, oh, that's nice, Rob's in it, but like I don't care, we can get rid of him. So Game & Watch and Duck Hunt are the only ones that I would think would be okay keeping. You know what, for now we'll keep Duck Hunt unless Brennan you have opposition for that.
No.
All right, we'll keep.
Yeah,
I don't dislike him, and I can't deny his
place.
Credibility as an OG, as one of the original representations of Nintendo, but he's also just, to me, he's not that important.
Not really.
not important as in like a staple for Nintendo. Not important as it's a fighting game,
Yeah.
Well, like I love the way that they made Duck Hunt as a fighter.
Yeah.
And like we're able to make it work, but like he's a dog that picks up dead ducks that you shoot out of the sky.
That's why he has to say it.
It's kind of a violent.
You gotta love him.
It's kind of a violent idea for a character. He's using guns. It's like this. Wow, it's like animal abuse. That's kind of fucked up, Donovan. That you're supportive of that. But oh well, we'll move on.
Second Amendment, dude. Okay, can we agree though that like can we also put Game and Watch in keeping them for now?
I'm
then
okay with that. Yeah.
Should we? Yeah. Can we agree that we put Rob and what was the other one?
Yes, Ice Climbers.
Ice Climbers.
Yeah, I'm okay cutting them. They're fine. They're not essential.
Rob, no.
I think Rob is cute.
Dr. Mario, fuck.
Hey, Rob was in Mario Kart DS. I will remind you.
Can we get just like a round of fuck yous for Dr. Mario?
For Dr. Mario?
You.
Yeah.
Fuck
why?
You.
He can okay, they haven't even had a new Dr. Mario game in I think since the 3DS. I think that was the last time. And I don't really get why. I feel like it's weird that there's not one on the Switch. But even then, why was he just not an alternate costume from Mario for the start? Why? Why did we need him to be a separate character? Oh, because he throws pills. Oh, wow, that's so interesting. No, I don't give a shit.
Melee's roster had some goofy additions, like him.
It
and
really
Pichu,
did. It really did. Yes, I agree with you.
You can one of the things that cracks me up is you could not tell me that Nintendo does not know that there's people at Nintendo who have the programming capabilities to where if you were to select Dr. Mario as your skin for Mario, it would just change the fireball to a pill. You could not tell me that there is not programmers who would know how to do that.
Well, and you don't even need to make the argument because I'm pretty sure they've done that with characters before. I think is it not there's a character. I think it's it's either oh my god, there's some other character. Oh no, it's Ike. It's Ike. If you change his skin, he has a different voice or something like that. I'm pretty sure that's a thing, right?
Or I think you're right.
Which is a little different, I guess. But you're exactly right, Brennan. They could.
You cannot tell me that it's already adding a different skin.
It would not be
onto
hard
a model
to do that. Yeah, exactly.
No, it's already adding a different skin onto a model. It would not be that hard because I think literally it's just the pills, and I think his down
is different. Yeah,
between Mario and Dr. Mario.
Which I don't like that. We can talk about Mario. I don't like that Flood is his down B. I never really liked Flood. I mean, I appreciate the reference, but I just don't think it's a good move.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd be okay if they got rid of it. But
isn't Dr. Mario the only character in here that's a repeat of a character that's already in the roster?
Wait, what?
Because Mario is Mario. Dr. Mario is just Mario. Right.
Right. I get you. That's not. Well, I guess you have a point. Yeah, I don't know.
I think what Donovan means is that Dr. Mario is not an official Echo character. He is his own character that is straight another copy of Mario.
Well, I think, yeah, I think what Donovan's saying is most of the other Echo characters. Go ahead.
What Donovan is saying is that there's technically two Marios in the roster, but there's no other character in the roster that there's two of them.
Right, because Daisy is an Echo Fighter of Peach, but in canon they're not the same person, right? With Mario and Dr. Mario, they literally are. I mean, I think they're intended to be the same person. I don't know. I don't know if Nintendo's ever came out and said oh no, Mario has a twin that's Dr. Mario. I don't fucking know.
Mario has a side hustle.
It's an alternate universe.
He's got to pay them bills.
You know what? I don't give a shit. Dr. Mario's getting out of there. Who gives a fuck?
The OnlyFans didn't work out, so he became a doctor.
Yeah. No, can we get? I want stripper Mario in the next game. Okay, so next we have Fox. So this is another interesting one.
The whole Star Fox series, I think we should do together.
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
It's just 3.
So, okay, Wolf and Falco, no. Is there any debate for that?
No. Only thing good about Falco is his fucking the down top.
Hands shit. Off my cock. Yeah.
I do kind of like Wolf from a villain perspective.
Well, sure.
He's the least interesting villain in the series.
That's true.
Yeah, it's another thing where it's I understand wanting to give because almost every hero in this game has almost every hero has their villain counterpart,
the beginning of the Donkey Kong of the King K. Rool trailer. showing all the
Yeah.
heroes and the villains fighting.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's just Wolf is like, I get that's maybe what they were going for, but like, it was just such the weirdest choice for it. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
I think like Wolf, at least at the time, he was like the villain of the Star Wars Star Fox franchise. Which it makes sense why they added him in a way, but like especially now with Star Fox not having nearly as much relevance as when like the original Smash Brothers came out, like it's just I just from that standpoint, like it's just we can just take other villains over him.
He kind of occupies like a Fox occupies a similar position in my mind as Captain Falcon, where it's like
Yeah.
he's kind of iconic to Smash, but like
Yes.
his own series is kind of like not relevant anymore. So like I could see them getting rid of him. I could see them cutting him. And either way, well, I would care if it was Captain Falcon, but with Fox, if they got rid of like all of the Star Fox characters, I would be like, whatever.
I think they should keep at least Fox. Personally, I think
they should. Yeah.
I think like it's like you said, it's like the case with Captain Falcon. Like he has become too ingrained in Smash Bros. DNA.
Smash is what's keeping him alive, pretty much.
Yes.
At this point.
Well, and Star Fox Zero. No, it's
Well,
just
we
Smash.
don't-
It's just Smash Brothers. Let's be honest here. And you know what? I honest to God would not be too surprised if Nintendo like tried to do another Star Fox game, if not only because like they still had like that IP is still kind of there, you know what I mean? But they need to make it like a good game, or else like
Or else
They kind of had a Star Fox game for the Switch. It was like that Starlink game that was made by
Battle for Alice.
Ubisoft.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like the last like piece of like Star Fox media that came out like I other than Smash Brothers, I think. So, yeah, but so, there's still hope potentially for Fox, but yeah, no, Falco and Wolf are out, but we'll keep Fox though. All right, Ganondorf. So, I feel like Ganondorf is like a Bowser case. Like he's too iconic.
He's literally
Oh my god.
iconic. He's iconic status for Nintendo.
Especially
They have to give him his
Tears of
Matt
the Kingdom.
Mercer look, though. They have to give him his Matt Mercer look.
Dude. I was looking at the amiibo of that they did for his like redesign, and I like it looks too cool. Like I feel like
It's really cool.
they gotta update it, or at least make it an alternate costume or something.
Yeah, I'd say keep him in. I would love. I think that's something that they could really do to increase like some shit for like a future Smash is that they could cut down on a lot of characters or a lot of things if they just, like we talked about, we know it's possible for them to program if they select a certain skin, small little details could change, And so like I think it would be really cool if they added a lot more skins. So like I love Ganondorf. I loved Ocarina of Time Ganondorf, and I'm so glad he returned. But my favorite Zelda game was Twilight Princess, so I was a little sad when Twilight Princess Ganondorf got changed. So I could totally see them adding it to where there was like
that would be so
that
cool.
Ganondorf and 2 or 3 skins, and then Twilight Princess Ganondorf 2 or 3 skins, and then like
that'd be based. If I could play as Wind Waker Ganondorf, like it would be over.
That would be cool.
Big fucker with 2 swords.
I love that. Is my favorite Ganondorf. I want that one in the game.
Dude, they had a figure of Wind Waker Ganondorf that was in the special edition Wind Waker HD. I feel like Donovan, if you ever find that like at a thrift store, you got to get that. I don't know why it would be there, but you never know.
They could do that with the other Zelda characters too. Like instead of just having one version of Zelda, like they could have all the versions of Zelda in one kind.
Oh yeah, they could. That's the thing is like I feel like they're so like sometimes they can be really creative with the alt costumes, but sometimes they're just like it's such a missed opportunity. I feel like, you know what I mean? Yeah, like sure. I don't know, they kind of dropped the ball on some of them, but all right, let's move on to Greninja. So Greninja is another interesting one, I think, because this is like I think factually the most popular Pokemon in the world. By like
as of,
that vote.
Yes, and I was going to bring that up too, but like as of a survey done years ago, I feel like it might have changed by now.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, I don't know, but I feel like that is still worth noting, though. I mean, like, well, because like I don't know who do you, if they ran that poll again today, who do you think it would be? I guess it's like kind of hard to tell. There's so many.
I don't know.
But I think it's interesting because I think they ran that poll in 2020, and Greninja hadn't even really been like the defining like Pokemon in the anime series, which I'm assuming is where like most of that like attention came from. They hadn't he was not in the show for like a while before that, but he still ended up being like the most popular Pokemon, probably because of like Ash Greninja. I'm not exactly sure, but I don't know. I also just feel like I really like Greninja. Maybe that's where my bias is coming in. Maybe I should try to like eliminate that.
I like Greninja too, and I think if they were going to include like any Pokemon from a previous generation, like it's kind of random that they would just include a 6th generation Pokemon, but he is pretty iconic. I
don't think he's just a 6th generation Pokemon. You know what I mean?
I think he's just too iconic, and he's such a good representation of like. I think he's a good representation of a single-use Pokemon, like not connected to Pokemon Trainer.
Yes.
Like
I think, and he's a ninja, so there was plenty of stuff that they could work with to make him a fighter for this game.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, no.
I mean, I might be a little biased. Greninja's my 3rd favorite Pokemon out of all 1,000 of them. So, but like,
in my
yeah, this is a tough
and it's
one,
it's
though.
like would they? In my mind, it's like would they? It's between Lucario and Greninja. It's like
okay.
it's like which one do they
Fair.
I have a hot take. I actually have a hot take with this, and this might shock Antonio.
Uh-oh.
Both of you might know Lucario is my number 1 favorite Pokemon. It's Lucario, Eevee, Greninja. Those are my top 3. I think it makes way more sense for Greninja to be in the game, and I could see them cutting Lucario.
What?
Yeah,
But
I agree with that.
Lucario in general, like I get it, it's because Lucario was also a really popular Pokemon for a while, and he's also such a cool. I mean, like I love Lucario. Like I said, he's my number 1 favorite, and I think that when they released him, his fighting style was so cool, and like the way that he could the way he was an aura reader and all this shit. Like it was definitely something cool that they used for their time in the game. But I feel like by now, the hype for Lucario has kind of died down, and it's just like, oh, he's still in the game, and stuff like that. But I know people who are actually excited and still play Greninja and shit like that.
Yeah, when Smash 4 was coming out, I remember they revealed him, and like people were like, "Why is Lucario still in the game?"
Yeah,
I just remember that being really funny. Like people being like, "Where's Mewtwo?" But like they have Lucario.
Yeah. That's so true. Yeah. Well, because going back to like Brawl, I feel like Lucario was like Mewtwo's like replacement, which I feel like was kind of stupid at the time, but like I feel like if anything that's where like maybe some of the like the kind of like lack of fanfare came from, is like Lucario kind of being a replacement for Mewtwo. And I feel okay, can we agree that Mewtwo should stay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah. I wanted to just get out of the way.
He's another too good perfect of like a single fighter Pokemon. Yes. He's another face.
Absolutely.
He's an OG. There's just too many things.
And he has like a unique. I know I said earlier that I wasn't gonna like go off of like fighting game logistics, but some of these like I do kind of have that. Like I think Mewtwo feels unique enough to where like he does stand out as a Pokemon, and I almost like going off of that logic. I feel like Lucario has more of a reason to stay over Greninja, because Lucario has his whole like aura kind of like gimmick as a fighter, and that makes him like kind of stand out in terms of like his fighting style.
Yeah, but they don't really use that much in his fighting style though.
Well, I guess that's true.
Yeah,
other than
he
like
kind of has like the ability with his
powerful
hands, and of course he has his famous aura sphere attack and stuff like that.
But I don't know if you like. Did you know that like as he takes more and more damage, his attacks get more powerful? Did you know that?
I do not. I haven't played Lucario.
Oh, really?
I barely play him.
That's like one of his defining kind of like characteristics of like playing as him is like the more damage he takes, the stronger his like attacks aura will get.
Well, that would make sense compared. I feel like that's a kind of a little reference to the, because I kind of feel like what made Lucario popular enough to get put in the game was the Pokemon movie Lucario and the Mystery of You.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And so, because I'm not gonna lie, that's one of the things that made him my favorite Pokemon was that movie.
Right. Okay.
And so like, I guess them doing that would be cool because that would be kind of like a reference or like / a callback to the whole reason he's in the game in the first place.
Yeah.
So I guess I can see that.
It's really tough. I think we should keep it Lucario or Greninja, but maybe not both.
I really think of it in terms of like a relevance standpoint, and I just don't see like the further and further that we get away from Gen 4, like the less and less I see Lucario as being a relevant Pokemon, you know? And it's like I just feel like he would be replaced by a Pokemon that's more relevant.
Well, yeah.
And whereas like you said, I feel like Greninja is still relevant to a degree. And like whenever this game comes out in like what 2028 or something, whatever, like Lucario is going to be even smaller of a character at that point. So personally, I see them keeping Greninja, getting rid of Lucario.
I would be okay with that, and for our
sadly,
sake,
I say the same. As much as I love my boy, I love them both.
It's nothing personal. It's nothing against Lucario. It's just we are simply doing business here.
It's okay, baby. I didn't mean it. No.
You, Brennen.
All right, let's just talk about Villager and Isabelle like at the same time. I feel like that makes sense. I think Villager should stay. But I'm okay if Isabelle gets cut.
Yep.
That's my take. Donavan, you seem like you have something to say about that.
Maybe this is a hot take, but I would rather them keep Isabelle and get rid of Villager personally.
Really? Ooh, okay. That's interesting. I'm not saying that's like I don't necessarily disagree with you, but I like that's an interesting take I've never really like considered.
I just think Isabelle is more of a character, and that's my only reasoning.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but like, okay, I mean, like, and let's just like get it out of the way. We got to keep at least one of them because Animal Crossing is just so big after New Horizons.
It needs its representation.
Representation.
I almost want to say both of them stay in, but I know you guys will disagree with that.
Well, but that's the thing is like I don't necessarily disagree from a certain standpoint.
The thing is, Animal Crossing is so huge. Like, if we're saying that Fire Emblem gets 4 reps, then like why can't Animal Crossing have 2?
That's kind of the thing.
You know what? That's a fair point.
That is a fair point. And here's my thing: they're too similar. I would like Isabelle is almost like at least in my head. I know she's not an Echo Fighter, but like she's just so similar to Villager in like so many ways.
I would say I'd want her to stay if they gave her a reason to be, like reason to stay, you know? Like I feel like she deserves the spot as a fighter if they give her a reason to not just be another Animal Crossing player, you know?
Yeah, and it's like the more I think about it, the more I'm like I don't know what they could do with either of them to like distinguish them more. I know they're not the same. They play differently. They have different moves, but like I don't know. They just have such a similar like vibe, and it makes sense. They're from the same series, but like I don't know. I think they should, but we should keep both of them. I
say let's go ahead. Let's go ahead, and I'm gonna agree with keeping both only because it's me hoping that if they were to both stay, they'd get tweaked a little bit, maybe. Because I know they are different, but just to be a little bit more different, you know, just to really kind of like separate the two as their own characters, but still representing the franchise.
And like Donavan, I agree with you that like I think Isabelle is more of a character, and that's what makes her maybe more deserving from a certain standpoint. But like the whole thing about Animal Crossing is like you're playing as like yourself, like a blank slate, and I feel like that's represented so well with the Villager character. That's why I feel like Villager should stay.
We haven't had one of these yet. Real quick, I'm gonna be that guy. Antonio, we're recording, right?
Oh, no. Yeah, no, we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Donovan's like, that's it. I'm getting back in my car.
Yeah. I'm going to beat up
this.
Antonio. What?
I love this image of Hero surrounded by 2 pink balls.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Well, let's do them in that order. Let's do a pink ball and then hero and then the other pink ball. All right. So first up we got Jigglypuff.
Get her out.
So, yeah.
Out.
Okay. I see the look on Donovan's face though. I feel like he wants to make a case for Jigglypuff. And I'm okay to hear about it. I'm okay to hear about it.
Well, I don't know. Like, I don't think that they'll keep Jigglypuff, to be honest. But there are points in her favor, like she's been there since the beginning.
Yeah.
You could say that.
I agree.
And also, I just like that they have a Pokemon rep that is kind of like not like a big, powerful Pokemon. It's just like this little baby bitch Pokemon.
That is true.
Besides Pikachu.
But I was like, but counter argument, there is another baby bitch Pokemon in this that I think is better than Jigglypuff.
Who? Pikachu?
Pichu.
What?
Oh, fuck off.
Dude, no fucking way we're keeping Pichu. I'm sorry.
Are you actually
There's
arguing
no
for
way.
Pichu?
You
I just
cannot.
wanted to see if I could get a reaction.
Yeah, well, you did. You succeeded. In fact, we're cutting Pichu immediately.
I was just trying to be the devil's advocate
Yeah.
to see if I could.
No goddamn
shit.
way.
No,
way.
Pichu is out, dude.
Yeah, Pichu's out. No, I do agree that like Jigglypuff is more interesting of like a baby, or like a kind of like a cutesy Pokemon fighter, and she does have like the iconic like rest move and like the sleep move and like and in terms of Pokemon like in the public eye, I do think like a lot of people know Jigglypuff, if not only because of like the anime, which I feel like is definitely why they included her in the first game, like hands down. But that being said, though, like I don't know, man. Like I feel like especially today, Jigglypuff's just not like Smash Brothers. It's another case where like Smash Brothers is keeping Jigglypuff relevant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I could really go either way on this one.
I could also go either way. Yeah.
I sadly say, let it die. Let it die.
Let it.
I think out of all the characters in the Get 'Em Out of Here, though, like if we have the opportunity at the end to add one back in, I would say Jigglypuff is.
Oh yeah, well,
we'll take one last look at this when we're done. But I say
Yeah.
for now, let's put her in the Get 'Em Out of Here.
Well, you can do that, but like I said, I think we should try to have an even split of 45 keep, 45 get rid of.
We're doing pretty good so far.
I think we have a very nice balanced list so far. I do think we could return to Jigglypuff if it comes down to it. All right, next we got Hero. I think this is kind of a tough one. I think because
I don't think it is at all. I disagree.
Really? Okay. Well, maybe it's not.
I think.
I don't know.
Okay, say what you're gonna say. I'm curious what you're gonna say.
Dragon Quest.
Just know that I will disagree.
As a franchise is fairly noteworthy in the grand scheme of gaming, I think, even now.
Incredibly noteworthy.
Yes. And I think it's surprising that we didn't get a Dragon Quest like character until Smash Ultimate. But that being said, like I have no personal attachment to Dragon Quest. I don't really give a shit. I am purely
I don't either.
arguing from the sake of like
I feel like
other people,
the Dragon Quest characters was like a really cool thing, and it's one of the things where I'm glad they did it.
Yeah.
But it was also such a like kind of out of nowhere like big thing for them to do, just to be like, hey, look, here's some representation for this franchise. Like,
yeah.
For a lot of you people you really like. For some of you, you've never even heard of it, but here it is, And it's like I feel like for that character, it's like he will always be known as being in Smash before, but maybe it was like a one and done thing. Like he's had his appearance, he's had his cameo, he got his representation in the series, but maybe it doesn't mean he needs to return.
I absolutely do not disagree with that. I think you guys underestimate just how massive Dragon Quest is.
Probably.
In other countries.
I probably don't even know the half of it.
Dragon Quest is massive in Japan, and like
Yeah.
just for that reason alone, I really don't think that Dragon Quest will ever leave Smash Bros. At this point. I think it's like a staple at this point.
Oh, I thought you were arguing against Hero, but you were like you
No,
were saying like we keep him. Okay.
he's a for sure for
Oh,
me.
okay. Interesting. Okay.
And plus, like Dragon Quest has such a attachment, like Dragon Quest and Nintendo go way back. You know, like
Yeah.
the first 3 Dragon Quest games were on NES. I think
Something like that.
something like
Yeah.
that.
They were definitely like yeah, it goes all the way back to like the old like NES days for sure.
To put this into perspective, I remember hearing at one point that like the release of Dragon Quest XI was so big in Japan that like companies were giving their employees days off just to like play the game when it came
Really?
out.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
insane. Wow. Yeah, like you said, I don't even really think I am like I don't think I'm able to comprehend how popular it is. And I definitely want to try the new Dragon Quest game just because I feel like I've played the demo of it. That's like as far as I've played of it. But I definitely
Yeah.
would be interested in playing more of it because like I do 'cause, like I don't know, you know, I want to kind of see like I want to see what everyone loves so much about it.
Okay,
Um,
boys.
Oh, what's up?
Just real quick, like that message I sent you before we started recording is past the time, so I have to go take care of something real quick,
Okay.
and then I will be back to gladly continue.
Okay.
Looking at the next level characters, nothing really stands out. There's only one character that I'm interested in seeing where you guys put him, so
Do you
I guess I'll just
do you
voice
trust
my
us?
opinion on that.
Do you trust
I'll
us
voice my
with?
opinion on that when I come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, for sure. All right,
All right,
we'll
I'll be
talk
back.
to you later.
Talk
Okay.
amongst yourselves.
All right, we will hold down the fort until then.
We'll hold strong.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, I don't have personal attachment to Dragon Quest, but like I don't deny that that there's enough of a like it has enough popularity to where they would probably keep him.
Yeah, and I think that like if Dragon Quest 12 is out by then, like the main slot will just be replaced by whoever that is. But
Yeah.
I think that like Dragon Quest as holding in terms of holding a spot in the roster for Smash Bros, I feel like it will definitely come back
Yeah.
in some capacity.
I do like what they did with like I mean, I know it's kind of controversial like his moveset, but I kind of do think it's interesting just because like it does kind of represent like RPGs more, you know? And you know, not just in the sense of like you choose your move, but like also like how you can play as like all the different characters. Like I feel like because it's like, you know, every, you know, all the RPGs are like there's like different protagonists that are supposed to be like, you know, more or less like you're kind of like taking the role of this character, and I think that that's also kind of like cool that they allow you to do that, like change your look and all that.
Yeah, he's definitely like in terms of all the characters in Smash Bros. I feel like he's one of the characters that they did the best job like representing his series and through his moveset. But
For sure.
yeah.
So we'll
I
keep
don't know.
Hero. We'll keep Hero.
Yeah, keep Hero.
All right, Kirby, you got to keep Kirby.
Get rid of him. Get rid of him.
Yeah, get
He's
rid
irrelevant.
of Kirby. He's irrelevant. Yeah, you're right. Don't mind like the what like. Isn't it? I feel like it's so weird that Kirby. Well, maybe it's not weird, but like Kirby has practically been a yearly release in the last like 10 years, which is like kind of crazy. But like,
I had that one joke in one of the more recent Scott the Woz videos where like they're just like there's
more
Kirby and then another one and then another one.
More Kirby. Yeah. It's so true though, because they're so. I mean, like, and I love Kirby though. I was never like a huge like Kirby fan. And I think the first Kirby game I played was Triple Deluxe, and that was only because like I think you got it for me for my birthday, but that made me a Kirby fan. I loved Triple Deluxe, and like pretty much every other Kirby game I've played. I haven't played a lot of Kirby games, but the ones that I have played, I've loved. They're just so much fun. They're so colorful.
Yeah.
It's hard to be upset when you play a Kirby game. You know what I mean? They're just so good.
Yeah, it's impossible except for Star Allies.
Except for Star Allies. I thought Star Allies was
kinda
okay.
mid.
It's I don't know. I think it's only because I haven't played a lot of them, but
I hold a grudge against it for the pure reason that I bought it on release and it was $60 for like a standard
it was
game,
probably
you know?
very disappointing at the time. Yeah.
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 I agree with you. I don't think it's that bad. But like
but
they're keeping Kirby.
Yeah, they're keeping Kirby. You played Planet Robobot, right? Oh yeah, you had.
Oh yeah,
that's.
I would say Planet Robobot is my favorite Kirby game.
I mean, I still have yet to play it because I never played it when you let me borrow it, or like I just like it. I just never. I don't know why. I think it was because I wanted to like finish Triple Deluxe first, and then I just never got around to doing Planet Robobot. I don't remember, but I think Kirby in the Forgotten Land is like my favorite one. And maybe that's not like a hot take, but like I love Kirby in the Forgotten Land.
Through the entirety of that, didn't you?
I
recently?
did, yeah, I did. I finished it like not too long ago, and it's definitely.
You know what? That is a good game. Actually, I take it back. I think that's my favorite.
Well,
too.
but I don't doubt that Planet Robobot is also really good. I know that that's like also a really loved one. But until I play it, I think Kirby in the Forgotten Land that's going to be like my top one for now.
We should just do a Kirby tier list at this point.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like I want to play more Kirby games because I want to eventually do a Kirby game tier list, but I just have not.
Yeah,
I have not played all or enough of them even to justify.
I played. We're just kind of going off on a Kirby tangent here, but
Yeah.
I played the first three like Kirby's. I don't even know what it's called, Kirby's Dream Land or whatever the fuck. Like the first three, you know.
Yeah, the one
that were on the NES.
Well. The first one was on the Game Boy. I think the first two were on the Game Boy, and then I think the third one was on the NES
SNES.
or the SNES. Yeah,
it was on the S. It was like one of the last games released on the SNES, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. Yeah.
What? But I played through all three of them recently, and they were actually pretty fun.
They're pretty short, right? Like you could probably breeze through them pretty.
The third one's a little like the first one. I'm pretty sure it takes you less than an hour to beat the entire thing.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, and this is a Game Boy game, so it makes sense. But yeah, no. But even then, I feel like even like those early games, like there's still a charm to them. I mean, obviously, like they had enough of a charm to where like it kept Kirby like a relevant character. So, or they kept on making games, and I just feel like I don't know. We don't need to make a case for Kirby. Kirby's staying in terms of Smash Brothers.
Can we talk about? Oh no, wait. We'll wait for Brennen to talk about the other two Kirby refs.
Yeah, we'll wait for Brennen for those. But next we got Little Mac. So this is another one that you were talking about earlier, like classic Nintendo reps. This is another you could consider Little Mac to be a classic Nintendo rep in a lot of ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean in the sense that I definitely don't see them making any other Punch-Out games anytime soon.
But see, even
though I would love them to.
I think that would be so cool if they did. I feel like they should, because I feel like that. Like especially like that kind of like genre of fighting game is like you never see that, or that's just simply not a thing. You know what I mean? Like just the way that Punch-Out plays.
Arcade sports game, yeah.
Yeah, and it would be so interesting. I feel like they could make another one, and it would. I don't know if it would.
Well, they had the one on the Wii, and
yeah.
I don't know how well the one on the Wii did, but. I think it's great. I love the Wii one, and I would love if they did like. Literally just if they did like an HD remake and then added like a couple more like bosses. Yeah. Like I think that'd be cool.
That would be really cool. I don't even really have like a whole lot of like personal attachment to the Punch-Out series, but I do like see how I do see how much like it is kind of like a beloved classic franchise, like especially like people that had the original NES. I feel like
Punch-Out is like I feel like this is the rep for like the 40 to 50-year-old dads.
Yeah.
Like Lil Mac is the one character where like when he was announced for Smash Bros, I was like, "Dad, look." And like that was the one character where he was like, "Oh, I know who that is. That's cool."
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And that means something, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like he's definitely recognizable by a certain audience.
Yeah.
A certain age demographic.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know. I think I don't know if this is like a controversial take though, but I think Little Mac should stay.
I think if Captain Falcon and Fox are staying, I think Lil Mac should stay.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I feel like there would be people that would argue against that, if not only because, like, as a franchise, Little Mac hasn't been super relevant, or Punch Out rather, but like, I don't know. I feel like even just the few games that there are like, you know, noteworthy in the grand scheme of Nintendo, that to like have him be in there. I don't know.
Yeah,
They should just make a new one.
even if just for the legacy of,
Yeah.
of Nintendo, like they gotta keep him in.
They should
I
agree.
agree.
They should make a new one though. I think hopefully that happens at some point.
Dude, Parker would pop off.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. I was talking to Parker the other day about like his appreciation for Punch Out. And yeah, I'm sure he would agree that Little Mac should stay. I don't even think that would be any question. All right, next up we got Inkling. I think this is like a no-brainer. Like at this point, right?
No, you just put him up there.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't played Splatoon 3. I know that that's like the newest one. I'm not like, okay, I have a lot of like appreciation for the Splatoon franchise, if not only because it's like the newest IP that Nintendo has done besides like ARMS, right?
Arms.
But like
That made me laugh just you mentioning arms.
just ARMS. ARMS is such a joke, dude. Like, I'm sorry. I can't take ARMS seriously. It's just ARMS. What?
Should we talk about it?
Yeah, we can talk. Well, yeah. I mean, we don't need to talk about Inkling a whole lot. Like Splatoon will continue to be like a Nintendo franchise. I have no doubt about that. So,
Wouldn't
like,
be surprised if they even added another rep for the Splatoon franchise in the next game.
I mean,
like,
who would they?
I don't know
even
who they would add.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I feel like Inkling is like enough. Like it sums up Splatoon as a franchise. I feel like they should make a new Splatoon and try to make it more like interesting than what they have so far. I don't know. You know.
Yeah, well, okay. I mean, Splatoon is a weird franchise for me personally on a personal level because, like, I have such a love for that first game.
Yeah.
Especially since it came out on Wii U and like there was nothing else to play at the time. But
that was a miracle
like,
that game was as good as it was, like in the middle of such a shitty time for Nintendo, you know?
Yeah, there was a time in my life where I considered Splatoon to be one of my favorite Nintendo franchises.
Damn.
And like I still have a love for it, but like Splatoon 2 is very derivative, which was fine when it came out because it was just like they were just trying to put Splatoon on the Switch.
Yeah, and like exactly.
But Splatoon 3, like I didn't even pick up that game because I agree, like each game is just like too similar to the last for me.
Yeah, I mean, and
I'm not even into like I like the multiplayer, don't get me wrong. I like the online multiplayer a lot, and I played like probably close to like 100 hours of it on the Wii U, but like it's not something that I feel like I need to keep coming back to, you know? And the only thing that's interesting for me about the Splatoon franchise anymore is like I still appreciate the lore of it, and I really like the art for the games.
Yeah,
but
I think
besides that, like I don't know.
It's a very inspired game. Like you can tell that like the people that make the Splatoon games are very like passionate, and like they put a lot of they have a lot of like care for the series, which I think is commendable.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, no, I do hope that they like make Splatoon 4 will probably be on like the next gen, which I think alone will make it probably worth getting, just because I don't know, whatever. Hopefully they make it like not just like they make it like more than just another Splatoon game. You know what I mean? But
yeah, that's really what I'm looking for like the next entry to the franchise. Because like I would love to still be super into it. They just need to shake it up a little more for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because at this point I have no like really any interest in getting Splatoon 3, just because like it just looks like more of Splatoon, and which is fine, but you know.
Well, yeah, and it was weird because I feel like it didn't really have a really long shelf life. Like Splatoon 2, I feel like was still like pretty relevant up until Splatoon 3 came out, but I feel like Splatoon 3 came out, it was just kind of like a blip on the radar. Like people were talking about it for like a couple weeks, and then it was just like, eh.
Well, and I think they have like DLC coming out for it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Which I guess is keeping it.
There's not a lot of discourse on that either, though.
No, I haven't. That's like literally all I heard was like, oh, they announced the release date, but I don't see people talking.
I'm pretty sure it's coming. I'm pretty sure it's coming out this month.
Something like that.
And, like,
yeah.
nobody's talking
but
about
like,
it.
But anyway, yeah. Back to like the positivity about it. Yeah, no, I think Splatoon is like it's a cool franchise. I think I think Inkling should be in the game. Yeah. Why not? Absolutely. I think also like Inkling as a character is interesting just because like I think that I think it's really cool how they like adapted the whole ink thing. Like they definitely like went the extra mile with that, I think. With the whole like ink mechanic, which I think is cool. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, it's very like unique from other shooter games for sure.
Yeah. Well, I just meant like that for sure, but I meant like in Smash Brothers. Like it definitely like makes Inkling a like a standout character, which is nice. But moving on, let's just do all of the Mii characters at once.
Just consider that one.
So I don't know if you think this is a hot take, but I think we should cut the Mii characters.
I do think that's kind of a hot take.
All right, well,
back up that claim.
Okay, I'll back up that claim. Mii's are definitely an iconic piece of Nintendo history, like, whatever, like the legacy of Nintendo. But like in terms of like the modern Nintendo, I just don't like it's kind of like we're like, I don't know. They're just not as much of an iconography of a huge piece of iconography for Nintendo as they once were. And it's like, yeah, the Wii generation was huge, but like we are in a new generation, and then you could even argue like it's even bigger now. Like, the Switch is even bigger than the Wii was. And I just think like I think the Mii's are like interesting from like a novelty perspective, but like especially I don't think we need 3. If I think it would be relevant. I would be okay if we kept 1, but we don't need 3 different like versions of a Mii fighter in my personal opinion. But I don't know.
Let me give my take.
Give your take.
I agree, but I mostly disagree.
Okay. Well,
I think yes, like in current day Nintendo, I can see that Nintendo has been like stepping away from the concept of Mii's.
Yeah.
But for me, it's really about like what is the cultural zeitgeist around these characters, and like the Mii is such like everybody knows what a Mii is, like.
Yeah.
I just feel like they're so iconic and so representative. They're such a good representation of like the Wii era and even like into the 3DS and Wii U era that like I could not see them cutting it. I don't know. I guess I could.
Yeah.
For me, it really depends on like how relevant the Mii's are in the next generation of Nintendo consoles. Like if they try to bring them back, I just feel like there will always be a need for you to be able to create like an avatar character for your games, and even though Nintendo in the Nintendo Switch Sports like kind of made a replacement for the Mii's and that idea of an avatar character.
About those avatars.
Nobody gives a shit about that.
Whoever
even when it came out, like people were like, "Where are the Mii's? Why don't they just have the Mii's?"
I didn't really get that either, to be honest. I was thinking about that.
Yeah. That oh my god, that would be so weird if they just put those little bitches in there instead of the memes.
Oh my god, no.
Can you imagine that?
Like, guys, look, it's the people from Nintendo Switch Sports, huh? Yeah? Yeah? No fucking way. No goddamn way. Okay, well,
No way in hell.
I do see your point. Maybe I'm being too harsh about it. Because I definitely have a large appreciation for Mii's as well. And I wish that Nintendo would kind of like push them more now, because then I feel like it would be more justified to keep them. I don't really feel like there's any like. I think the only reason why maybe Nintendo is trying to stray away from them is because like the whole thing with Mii's, like, you know, kind of having that like Wii, you know, they literally tie to the name Wii. That kind of makes them. It's hard for Mii's to kind of like exist, like outside of the Wii, like, you know, like they're like tied to that, because like, you know, Nintendo doesn't make Wii consoles anymore, so it's kind of like weird that Mii's are like still have like the name that they do. But I don't necessarily think that means that they can't like include them in like games and like their they like, I don't think that that means that they can't have them be their main avatar or anything like that. But
Brennen.
I don't know, Brennen. He's back. Wait, let's see.
What is your opinion on Mii's?
Yeah, let's see Brennan's opinions on Mii's.
We've had a very spirited discussion about Mii's.
We have,
here.
yeah.
I know. Like, I came in here and looked at my screen and saw where you guys were, and then I left for like another 5 minutes, and you're still here.
Well, what can I say?
I don't know. I'm on the fence with the Mii's because I like the idea and I like the premise, and I think the best thing with the Mii's is, of course, the customization.
Yeah, that is a huge part of it, and they got the Mii costumes.
Either yourself,
yeah,
or these other characters they bring in that didn't quite become fighters. Like, I don't care what anyone says, I will always love the fact that Sans didn't get to be a real fighter, but they made him a gunner.
Yeah, that's true, and that would have never happened if the Mii fighters weren't there.
Proves our fucking theory with Dr. Mario earlier, because they changed the arm cannon functionality for the Sans costume for the gunner.
Yeah. That
would mean that the Dr. Mario skin would work. Anyways, I think they're interesting. I think they could be tweaked a little bit, and maybe I did hear what you guys were just talking about how like the Mii's were kind of tied to like the Wii era of Nintendo.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So I feel like they could. Yeah. I feel like they should stay, just because I think that they can be reworked / changed to be even better versions of what they already are. Mm-hmm. If they were kind of like maybe kept to their roots of like the Mii, but were updated to like the newer stuff coming out.
Here's what I would love, and this is just me speculating, but I would love if they had just like instead of having the 3 classes, like the brawler, the gunner, and the swordsman, like just have one Mii with one moveset, and you can customize the face still and the color or whatever, but like they have a moveset that's based off the games that they've been in. So like there's like a move that's like Tomodachi Life. There's like a Wii Sports Resort move. Like that would be so cool.
That would be interesting. I actually would really like. I think that's like a very good way of like integrating them, because like that is like right? That is like part of like what makes Mii so iconic is the games that they were in, like Wii Sports, you know, Wii Sports Resort,
and Pilot Wings.
I don't know why I'm like.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the final Smash could be like the Wii Sports boxing. Like that'd be so cool. Right?
That would be cool. Yeah.
Falling upon Matt, and as he slices you down.
That would be so.
Oh my god! Just put Matt in.
Oh, and there is a lot of potential. Okay, yeah. No, you know what? I'm convinced that they should keep one Mii character, but not have 3 different classes.
Right.
You know,
but I think you should still be able to customize it.
No, I agree. I agree.
But put the fighter in there.
Yeah. Well, I feel like if they were gonna keep any of the existing ones, I feel like the Mii Brawler just makes the most sense. But you know, I agree. I think that's a very inspired take on Mii fighters, Donavan. I appreciate that.
Well, I just think like it's like I was saying, the Miis are so representative of a place in time, and I feel like if you want to emphasize that part of it, then that's how you do it.
I agree for sure. That's a very good way of doing it, and because the Wii era was so big, I feel like that you can't ignore that.
Yeah.
All right, next up we got Pikachu. We can just move on. Next up we got Ness. I think Ness is like pretty much. I feel like that's like keeper.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm saying I'm just glad that we all just at the same time agreed.
Oh.
Like, okay, yeah, Pikachu, and moving
Yeah.
on.
What argument would there be? Like, I don't know. He is the Pokemon.
That'd be so weird if they got rid of Pikachu.
Yeah. I feel like there would be like I would feel like this empty like feeling of emptiness in my chest.
Like
If,
the most recognizable pop culture character of all time.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like there's no goddamn way. Or they were like, we're gonna bring back Pichu, but not Pikachu. No goddamn way.
Antonio just wants him so he can keep kicking my ass as Pikachu and Smash Brothers.
Pikachu is my main in Smash Brothers currently, and that's not even like I didn't even like think like, oh yeah, Pokemon's my favorite franchise, I'm gonna pick Pikachu. I just like Pikachu. I just like the way he plays. I don't know. I like spamming his down B. Anyway,
Aren't you special?
Yeah, I know, aren't I special? But Ness though, we should talk about Ness. I think Ness is iconic for many reasons. I think like he represents like such a like just like a sort of like just this like culture of like appreciating this like classic game, and like there's like years of like time where like it was like not even really acknowledged by Nintendo, but then there was like there was like this appreciation with like coming out on the Wii U and like on the Switch, and like there's like this huge fan community about it, about like this game that I think like could have easily just kind of fallen by the wayside. But I think Earthbound is like a great game. I think it's like a very like special kind of game.
And people know what Earthbound is like through Smash,
Yeah.
Like even though they haven't had a game in forever, like people know who Ness is.
But that's the thing is like I don't even think like it's a different case with like some of these other characters like Captain Falcon, Little Max, Fox. Like they've had like games come out, and like I still think that they should continue to try to like make those franchises relevant. But Earthbound, it's like I don't even necessarily feel the same way. I think we're okay with like where Earthbound's at, like in sort of a cultural standpoint. I would love if they made a new game, but I'm kind of content with like the legacy that Earthbound has.
I would
now.
love if we got an official English release of Mother 3, but
well, I'm still pretty adamant that will happen eventually, but someday, but yeah, but like Earthbound itself is like, if anything, I think it'd be cool if they made like an HD like remake, or like just a redoing of it with like updated graphics or something.
Mario RPG style of Earthbound.
Hey, no one ever thought that would happen. You know what I mean? At least I didn't. But who knows? I know that like there's like weird things with like the creator of Earthbound. Like he doesn't want to do anything with the series. Which I guess is like almost commendable in a standpoint, because it's like you want to leave it where it's at. You don't want to like beat it into the ground. I guess that's like kind of
also, isn't it like not fully? Is it fully owned by Nintendo, or is Earthbound like partially owned by another company?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I feel like it is owned by Nintendo, but like it's like one of those things where it's like they don't feel the need to like do anything with it, because it's like there's not enough of a name to like the games, like if they made another Earthbound, I don't even know what they would like do with it. Like I feel like it would inherently be not as like marketable, unfortunately, unless they did like an HD remake. But who knows? I don't know. I really like I like Earthbound. I like Ness. I think Ness deserves to stay in. That's what I think. All right. I'm glad we're
same way about Lucas.
No, I do not feel the same way about Lucas. Lucas,
yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Even Maybe if they did release Mother 3, but even then, I don't know. I don't know.
Would that be wild if they announced Lucas was returning to the next Smash Bros. Game, and at the same time they announced like a Mother 3 remake or something?
That would be crazy. That's like kind of what they did with like when they announced Isabelle. They announced Isabelle, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, and we're doing Animal Crossing for Switch." If they did the same thing for Lucas, that'd be insane.
I feel like Ness is a good enough representation for the Earthbound series. Anyways.
I agree.
I feel like the day that they announced the Mother 3, whatever it is, localization or remake, the world will fucking explode.
Yeah, it'll it'll open with that guy from that. Well, no, because Reggie isn't even in Nintendo anymore.
I know exactly what you were gonna say.
Yeah, but that was just I just love that they had that moment. That was just that was like,
come on, Reggie, give us Mother 3.
Nintendo being at their most like cynical and like, just in your face. But yeah, I don't know. I like I said, I think it'll happen eventually. It's just gonna take some time. Next up we got Pac-Man, another classic character. Like, I feel like there's just too much notability with Pac-Man. You can't get rid of him,
Yeah.
Is
you also can't ignore the fact that the most recent Smash Bros. Games have been partially co-developed by Bandai Namco, so
that's very
you have to keep Pac-Man.
True.
Yeah. that's pretty. Yeah, that's like I feel like that's a no-brainer. Speaking of no-brainers,
Steve, please.
We gotta keep Steve.
I just woke up. Please keep Steve.
We gotta
Nintendo,
keep Steve.
I beg of you. Like,
yeah.
Minecraft is iconic.
Yes,
and I know it's owned by Microsoft now, but you have to make another deal with them. You have to.
Yeah. No, I feel like Steve. Well, and like it just Minecraft is just such a big game. Like it's big with like people that don't even like know video games in general. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's just so. It's just so ingrained, and even like outside of like video games, in like culture and like popular culture, with like I feel like Minecraft was like one of the first games that like really saw a rise on like social media and like YouTube. You know what I mean? And I feel like that kind of like ushered in like a new era of gaming and like people that know gaming.
Minecraft in Smash Bros. Like Steve represents the internet through Smash Bros.
Yeah, no, I agree, because like. Really, like seriously, like not a lot of characters have the same kind of like pop culture relevance as Minecraft and Steve does. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. No, I agree.
Like current pop culture relevance too, because like Minecraft is so timeless.
And exactly. And Minecraft is like at this point is like even it's not like it's like old, but it's like it's not like a new game anymore. But it's still like, still relevant. People still play it. Like, yeah, we're going to keep Steve. So, on the opposite side of the spectrum as the Mii fighters, in terms of like Wii representation, I don't think we need Wii Fit Trainer. Like, is there any?
I've heard a couple weird. I don't know what Brennan thinks about this. I've heard a couple weird takes on this where like people are like, oh, they're gonna repurpose Wii Fit Trainer and make them the Ring Fit Trainer in the next Smash Bros. Game, which I could see it, but I think that I would kind of roll my eyes at that.
It's so weird to me that Ring Fit Adventure is like one of the top Switch games. I never really got that. Like, I think it's a cool game. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in the top 10. I might be wrong, but like I'm pretty sure it somehow is in the top 10. Maybe with Tears of the Kingdom it's not, but
that is definitely the game that everybody played for 2 weeks and then dropped off of.
Yes, and I'm included in that. That's like almost exactly what happened to me.
I guess that also happened with Wii Fit too, though. So
I don't know. I feel like, but Wii Fit had like multiple games, which I think is something to be said about that.
That's true. It had the mini games, which were always fun to come back to. So.
Yeah,
But nobody came back to the yoga mini games. You play those once and you're like, all right, I'm never going to play these again.
Yeah. Ring Fit Adventure is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's the 11th most popular Switch game. So
Yeah,
it's not
I'm
in the top
sorry,
10.
but the fucking Mii's are way better representative of the Wii era than the Wii Fit Trainer
Yeah,
is.
I feel like Wii Fit Trainer was just like, oh, look at this goofy character, haha. Like, isn't that
Oh
weird that
my
we're including
god.
her? You know?
Yeah.
Um,
No, I just want to add something. I remember like back in fucking middle school or something, like
yeah.
around the time that they were doing the DLC for Smash 4, I was like, what if they added the Wii Balance Board character from Wii Fit?
Would that be so
You know, like the
cool?
little guy,
Yeah,
the little
yeah, yeah, yeah,
flexible
yeah.
guy.
They had him in like
I
the
can just,
background of like the Wii Fit stage.
I can just see the trailer now, Donovan. It'd be like the Wii Fit trainer on the board, and then the board would just like
Come
kick
to
her
life.
off, and
Yeah.
then be like, "Wah."
Yeah. That would be hey, if they did that,
Funny.
maybe that there'd be something to said about that.
I would just like to point out, I think it's hilarious. I don't disagree at all because I also agree that Steve should be in Smash.
Uh-huh.
But I like how we have like the original three starters and like Dr. Mario and Rob in the get him out of here, and then we're like, Steve.
Yeah. Hey, dude, I there are very few times in my life that I remember getting as like giddy as when I remember watching the Steve trailer.
Well, they did such a good job with that trailer too. It was
They
hilarious.
did, yeah. I remember just being like, yeah, it's
It was
just
such a what the fuck moment.
I know. It was and they totally played into it, which I thought was great.
Hmm.
Here, I think we should do a couple like I think like out of the remaining people, we should try to let's go through like the obvious like keepers really quick because I feel like we can just
Okay.
like kind of knock out like the ones that there's not really much to discuss like Mario,
Yeah.
like
Yoshi.
Yoshi, Yoshi,
Well,
Luigi,
You gotta have Olimar.
well Olimar, yeah, no, I think Olimar should stay. I
You
know
gotta have
you gotta
Olimar.
have yeah, Link,
Yeah.
Sonic.
Zelda.
Zelda. Where's Zelda? There's Zelda. Okay, I will say this. You know what? Let's do the remaining Zelda characters really quick. I don't think we need either of them.
You're missing one.
I am. Oh wait, I am.
Yeah,
Oh, I
man.
am. Yeah. I don't think we need any of the three of them.
Just
No.
make them alts.
No.
Yeah.
No.
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 Are you
No.
trying to say they should keep Sheik?
No, I'm saying that they should keep Toon Link and get rid of Sheik and Young Link. Because
Okay.
Toon Link due to his style and his like size, he does play differently than
He
regular
just-
Link. He plays very
Just
You
have
know
a
similar
what?
different hitbox.
You know
he
what?
plays very
Just-
similar to Young Link, which is why I think we only need one of them, but I think Toon Link is the better out of the two.
I agree. I agree with you. Because especially with like Breath of the Wild and like the redesign of Link, the more classic era of Zelda I feel like should get more representation, and I think that's where Toon Link kind of like serves that purpose.
I disagree, but I won't argue. Wind Waker is my favorite Zelda game, so
All right,
I'll take
fair
it.
enough. Yeah, no, but like, well, and also like Zelda, you know, another thing we have to keep in mind is like Zelda, Legend of Zelda is like, you know, maybe Nintendo's second most popular. Yeah, Nintendo's second most popular franchise.
yeah.
It would be.
You could maybe make a case for
Counting
like,
Pokemon.
well, I don't even count Pokemon as like a Nintendo franchise. It is, but like aside
Yeah,
from Pokemon,
I know what you mean.
That's like a whole other thing. But Mario and then probably Zelda. Because I was gonna say maybe like Kirby, maybe or Animal Crossing.
What the fuck? Guys,
No, I
okay,
feel like
hold on.
Zelda.
Just real quick. I was curious, so I looked up what are Nintendo's biggest franchises, and
Uh-huh.
it gives me Zelda, Sonic, Minecraft, and Mario 64.
Right? Yeah.
64 specifically.
Mario 64.
Yeah, no,
I mean
look,
that is like.
it was like Zelda, and then it was Sonic Adventure.
Yep, those are the top four. Those are the top four Nintendo franchises.
I feel like Nintendo kind of like their top franchises that they consider themselves are like Mario, Zelda, Animal Crossing, and
Kirby.
yeah, Kirby, but Kirby's developed by HAL, so like
Oh, Okay, fair.
Like not counting like Kirby and Pokemon. Like I would also say like they prioritize Splatoon pretty hard nowadays.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And maybe Pikmin too.
Well, now, not over the last like 10 years. All of a sudden, 2023, just yeah, Pikmin.
So according,
but they always have the Pikmin in their marketing. Have you noticed that? Like even in like Super Nintendo World, they have like
That's
random
true.
like Pikmin.
I think that's Miyamoto being like, "Oh, you gotta put the Pikmin in there," which I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
That's why they called it Super Nintendo World, not Super Mario World.
Yeah, but they would have called, but if it was if Miyamoto had his way, they would have called it Super Pikmin World.
So I looked it up, and even though Pokemon is not like made by like it's not like a single Nintendo like franchise,
Yeah,
kind of, it still says that since Nintendo owns the rights to Pokemon, Nintendo's kind of like big three that have always hold the top were 1 Mario, 2 Pokemon, 3 Zelda.
yeah. Well, and especially with like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, like I think that's no doubt that Zelda is probably just like the second Nintendo like top franchise. You know what I mean? So yeah. So no, I think and given that, the whole point of me saying that was like, given that we gotta have, I think having 4 Zelda reps is very well deserved, you know? And
I agree. I would just rather them put in another Zelda rep besides Toon Link. Like I want them to add a new Zelda rep.
Do though. Like, you know what I mean? Because I feel like
Tingle. I don't know.
No,
I don't know. Yeah,
Fierce Deity, please.
I guess that would be the next obvious choice. I don't know. I really don't know.
I'm still either Skull Kid or Midna. Apologists.
I would love Midna.
Wolf Link with Midna would be
Midna.
interesting. That would be really interesting.
That'd be so cool.
I think they should do like, it would be cool if they would have done like a Midna with like with Wolf Link as like base, and then like her ultimate smash, which she would turn into Twilight Midna.
That would be very interesting. Yeah. Hey, you
whips out the mirror of Twilight and shit.
Yeah. But for now, we'll keep Toon Link. All right. So next up we got. Oh wait, let's do a couple of the obvious ones really quick. Let's keep doing those. Peach, I say we keep. I feel like we gotta.
Samus.
Maybe change her to have her Princess Peach Showtime reference. Anybody? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, Samus.
I guess.
Yeah, why not?
Voiced by Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah. Let's see. Mega Man. I feel like Mega Man. What do you guys think about Mega Man?
I feel like you gotta keep Mega Man, right?
Yeah. I feel like I can kind of go either way on that one.
I could kind of go either way, but like I really like the trifecta, the having Mario, Sonic,
quadfecta,
Pac-Man, and Mega Man. I just feel like is just so perfect.
Yeah. Well, Mega Man has such great roots with Nintendo that I feel like that's noteworthy. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I feel like Mega Man, like when people think of Mega Man, they think of like that original like NES sprite of him. You know what I mean? And so like, I feel like Mega Man is well deserved to be in the game. And let's see. I almost
kind of want to say Ryu as well.
Yeah, I would be okay with keeping Ryu. I think Ryu is deserving of a spot. Yeah, especially okay. You know what? If we're doing Ryu really quick, let's do all of the traditional fighting game characters really quick. I don't know how many there are. I think this is it, right?
Yeah.
Do we really need any of the other ones?
In my humble opinion, as a non-fighting game character or a non-fighting game fan, you can get rid of all of them. Yeah.
I just don't.
You just need Ryu.
Yeah. Again, if we're approaching this from like the lens of like we're trimming the fat of the Smash Brothers roster.
I know Tekken is big.
Yeah.
King of Fighters not so much.
Yeah.
As far as I know. but like I still
The only
think that
the
they
only
need
one
Tekken.
out of those three that I'd even like somewhat want to keep would be uh
Kazuya.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Just
agree.
because I like how he played and I thought he was a cool kind of representation
He
from that
was,
series of games.
yeah. I
But
think if you take out
I
the,
also
yeah,
think that like Ryu is such a good enough classic fighter that like if it had to
he
get rid of those three, it would be those three.
he was the one that they had to add. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think they should have a Mortal Kombat represent. I mean, like that would feel a little out of place potentially, but um,
That'd be interesting.
I feel like
That'd
Mortal
be like them
Kombat,
adding Doomslayer.
yeah, which is another one
Mortal
that people wanted. You know,
Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat.
yeah,
Well, they added him as a skin for your
they
new
did,
gunner.
yeah. I'm surprised they didn't have any Mortal Kombat like Mii Fighter skins, right?
No.
No.
I don't think they did, but yeah,
I just love that Nintendo confirmed the meme with Isabelle and Doomslayer.
they did, huh? They did acknowledge that. That was
Yeah.
that was funny.
Nintendo?
Yeah, they probably like tweeted about it or something.
Yeah, they posted a picture of Isabelle next to the Doomslayer skin and said "Together at last."
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
That's funny.
I love it when Nintendo like does stuff like that. Okay. Are there any other ones that are like no brainer?
I feel like Wario
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Wario is a
and like I don't know, you guys might disagree with this too, but I also feel like Shulk.
Oh, no, yeah, I agree with Shulk.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Especially like Xenoblade Chronicles has like gotten so much attention
Yeah.
with the Switch generation specifically. Yeah, I feel like and I mean like maybe they could have one of the more newer protagonists like take his spot, but like no, I feel like Shulk is too iconic. It's just, you know,
Mhm.
I don't know, but the only other one that I feel like is like pretty much like a no-brainer is Pit because he's kind of like another one of those characters that like got kind of a resurgence because of Smash Brothers, and I feel like
Yeah.
I know he hasn't gotten a game in a while, but like man,
We're seeing a pattern of like Captain Falcon, Pit, Fox, and Ness, where like they're characters that live on through Smash and not much else. But like it would be
yeah,
weird to see them go, so I have a hard time saying no to them.
yeah, but man, I'm just like I wish that they would just make another Kid Icarus game for the Switch or whatever the next console is at this point. Because like Kid Icarus Uprising was like was not only was it so good, but it had so much like promise. You know what I mean? Like they could have kept going with that like style of game, and I feel like it would have worked really well. And maybe it's just because like right when Sakurai was done with that game, he just immediately went to Smash, and that's where just he's been. But I feel like they could do another one, and it would. I don't know how well it would sell, but I feel like it would definitely be a good game. You know.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I agree.
I think we should keep it though. Okay. So the rest of the characters here, I mean, maybe we could go through the ones that are like obvious, like no goes. I feel like Piranha Plant,
Roar.
Incineroar, yeah. I'm sorry, no.
Pyra and Mithra.
Pyra and Mithra, yeah.
Fuck you both.
Yeah, you don't like you want Pyra and Mithra?
Richter. Get rid of Richter.
Oh yeah, get rid of Richter. Simon, I
And
guess, is
then-
up for debate.
I think we need to talk about the rest of them though.
You think we need to talk about the rest of them?
No,
Yeah.
get fucking Mei Fing, whatever her name is, out of there. I don't fucking care.
Oh,
if
Min Min.
it's-
Yeah,
Yeah,
Min
do you
Min's
want to
good.
talk about Min Min, Donovan? Do you have a strong argument for Min
No,
Min?
Get rid of Min Min.
Okay.
Everybody except for us has already forgotten that.
But what
Arms
if
is
they
a
make
thing.
arms too?
They will not.
They will not. Okay. Okay. All right. Joker from Persona 5.
This one hurts me so much
Uh-oh.
because I love Persona 5 so much, and I love the Jokers in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think they would come back. I think it was a one-time thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like another one of those instances that's like, holy shit, this is crazy that he's in the game, but like if they did it again, it's like it kind of takes that like the charm out of it. You know?
Yeah,
Potentially.
Persona it's becoming bigger. Like it's a pretty big franchise, I would say.
Well, that's true, and they continue to like make games based off of it, you know. So
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, like, similar to Banjo-Kazooie, where it's like I just don't know if Nintendo wants to put in the ask or like the legal
Well,
hearsay, whatever, to get him in the game.
would it even be that much of a hassle though? Because I think Persona is like it's not like a Sony franchise anymore, you know?
It's technically owned by Sega, I'm pretty sure, because Atlas is
Right.
owned by
Sega.
Sega, but
Right. Yeah.
um, I don't know. I just feel like that's kind of like jumping through a hoop that they don't want to get into almost.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough one because I think I haven't played a whole lot of Persona 5, but like I still have a lot of appreciation for Joker as a character. But I guess he is kind of like he does kind of stand out in like kind of a weird way too. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. I could go either way with him, but I guess we'll cut him. Unless Brennan, you have an argument, but okay,
No.
is there really an argument for Zero Suit Samus? I feel like Zero Suit Samus is like a
Oh, no,
like
no.
cut,
No,
right?
that's a cut.
Yeah.
She's hot. She's hot.
You know
Fuck
what?
no.
Brennan
They
Brennan
could do the thing that they did in Brawl where like you press down B and then you get to play as Zero Six
Okay, that's
Samus.
not even how. Well, they could do that, but that's not even how you would do it in Brawl. You would have to get the final smash, and
Oh,
then her
that's
suit would
right.
come off, which I think was
Oh, I was
stupid.
thinking of Zelda and
You were
Sheik.
thinking of Zelda and Sheik. That being said, I do think like I don't know how it would work, but maybe if they had the same thing where if you did down B and then her suit comes
Yeah.
off and it's Zero Suit Samus, that might be interesting. I don't know if like that would be possible, but
And then you
you know.
do it again, and then.
Okay, okay.
Imagine if
All right.
Imagine if they brought it back for Zelda and Sheik, where like you had to play that specific Ocarina of Time skin of Zelda to be
Ooh,
able to turn into Sheik.
that would be interesting. Yeah. I don't think they
That'd be
would do.
cool.
I mean, like
They
that's
wouldn't do it, but I think it'd
yeah.
be cool.
That yeah. There's a lot of stuff that it's like that would be so cool, but it's just like it's so like they probably wouldn't do it. But But we'll cut Zero Suit Samus. So King Dedede, I feel like we got to keep him, if not
Oh
only
yeah,
because he's a villain, and
for sure.
he's also just like he's a heavier character. You got to have those heavy characters. And Kirby is also just like such a staple franchise for Nintendo.
Yeah, and let's talk about Meta Knight too, because
Okay, we'll talk about Meta Knight.
this is one where like I was saying, I've seen a couple of people do these lists so far, and that like Meta Knight is always like extremely divisive for people for some reason, because like I feel like he's a no brainer as like Kirby, DDD, and Meta Knight are like the three Kirby reps, but like some people kind of sacrifice him just to
Yeah.
like have another character to put in the whatever. But I don't know. I don't think they would get rid of him.
So I think they should keep him, but here's something that I'll point out. If we keep Meta Knight, we are at 45 characters that we're keeping.
Well, let's just finish like what we're doing now, and then we can rearrange it at the end. And
Okay, you're right. Well,
I'm just saving
yeah.
the hard part for last.
Okay, no, you're right. Well, Brennan, what do you think? Do you have an opposition against Meta Knight? Because I'm okay if we keep him.
Not really. I kind of see what Donovan means. That it's kind of like the golden trio for the Kirby games.
Yeah.
So
And he does, he's not just like another sword fighter, which I think is interesting. He does like play distinguishably from the other ones, which is cool. Okay, Rosalina and Luma.
it was such a cool thing for a while, but like I kind of feel like they've made their appearance. They've done their thing. They don't. They're
Yeah,
not mandatory.
yeah. Unfortunately, because I know
It's
like
not an,
Mario
it's not an
Galaxy.
important Mario character, really.
Yeah, and Mario Galaxy was like those are like really big games. And Donovan, that's like your favorite game, right? So I thought that would have been like your kind of like bias for Rosalina,
Oh yeah, no,
but
like if we're making these lists like based on a personal level, where
Yeah.
we're choosing the characters that we like the most,
Yeah.
then like Rosalie and Luma are definitely on my personal list. But like in terms of what I actually think is realistic, I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. No. Um, yeah. No, I don't know. I was gonna say maybe you could make her like an alt for Peach, but I don't even know if you could really do that,
No.
honestly. She's too different, but that's okay. But they could still have like a Mario Galaxy stage. I think that would be, you know,
Hmm.
justified. Okay, Snake. I think Snake should get cut.
I know. I love Snake, and I love the Metal Gear Solid games, and like I love that he made his appearance in Brawl in this game.
Hmm.
But it's also like out of every game, why Metal Gear?
Yeah. It's just so weird that he was
I
the
just
first third party character, you know?
him and Sonic.
Him and Sonic, yeah.
Yeah.
Sonic makes sense. I think Sonic was a perfect like third party character as like one of the first, but Snake is just like what? You know? I don't know. But
I think Sakurai was friends with the creator of Metal Gear.
is that what that I don't doubt that. That
Yeah,
would make
that's
sense.
I'm pretty sure that's why that happened.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
that's good for them,
remember his name
but
right now.
I'm sorry. I I just think like Snake is so inconsequential to Nintendo history. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
in such a large way because I feel like well because like I don't know even like the most popular Metal Gear games I don't even think they were on Nintendo. You know?
Well, it's just now recent. Like I'm pretty sure that Metal
Oh,
Gear
that's right.
Solid 2, 3, and 4 are like
Yeah.
literally coming out on Switch
No, I think
now.
they did. I think they already did.
Hmm.
Which is nice, but like still like that's still kind of like, you know, I don't think that's enough
Yeah.
of a justification to keep Snake, you know. I'm
They're
gonna
not that relevant,
no. I think like
Metal
you know,
Gear.
again, it's another case where it's like it's cool that he was there and I appreciate that he was there, but he is not a
Hmm.
mainstay. All right, next we got Palutena. I think we should cut Palutena.
Yeah, get rid of
Or
Palutena.
get rid of Palutena. I think Pit is more than enough. Even when they like had the trailer for Palutena, I was like, okay, that's cool. You
Yeah, I
know?
think that Palutena occupies like an interesting like concept, like character concept for Smash Bros. Like there's no
Yeah,
other like god or goddess
that's
character,
true, which is interesting.
but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like Palutena is not iconic.
No. If anything, like she became iconic because she was in Smash, but other than that, like I just don't think anyone would have really cared otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay, next up we got Simon from Castlevania. I'm okay cutting him. I know that like the Castlevania games are big and popular and they have like roots in Nintendo, but like I don't know.
This is the one that hurts for me because I agree with you, but
Yeah.
I would really want him to stay in. Like I haven't played a lot of Castlevania games, but I'm like just starting to get into them, and so it hurts
They're
to
really
say
hard.
that like
They're really hard
they
games.
are hard,
Yeah.
but they're fun.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I agree with you, but I would really want them to keep him personally. I don't know.
Uh mm, this is another case where it's like it's weird that we didn't get him sooner than Ultimate, you know?
You know what would make me feel a lot better?
What?
And I don't know how realistic this is, but if we took like fucking one of the Fire Emblem characters and replaced them with Simon.
I don't know. You don't want four Fire Emblem characters, Donovan?
Why do we need four
That's
Fire
got to
Emblem
be the bare
characters,
minimum.
man?
You got to have four at least.
Oh,
Um,
so
that
stupid.
is one that we did say like we would come back to Fire Emblem if it came down to it. Brennan, do you have any
I mean,
oppositions for Simon?
Not really. I mean, like, I like. Don't get me wrong. I'm really excited that the Castlevania characters got some representation and kind of got to
Hmm.
get turned into like this cool 3D model for the game.
Yeah,
And
I think just put them there
I
for
kind of, I
now.
kind of want to agree with Donovan in saying that like
yeah.
we try to switch one out and see.
I don't get why they didn't make Richter an alt costume from the start, but whatever. I guess it was like the hype at the time, like, oh, you're not getting one Castlevania character, you're getting two. I don't know, but
So
I'm
here's
surprised that
here's
they
my
didn't
main
work.
problem. I know we might be jumping the gun a little bit, but I have a problem here.
uh-oh.
I think the last three all deserve to be in.
So
Yeah.
okay, Ridley, I
Well,
agree.
I definitely agree with Ridley. They
Yeah,
gotta
I
keep
agree
him
with
in.
Ridley. Um,
K. Rule is different for me because K. Rule, they don't use him in Donkey Kong games
no, they
anymore.
don't.
And so I like him as a legacy character, but he's another one that I feel like, yes, it's cool to have a villain character, but it's kind of one of those things where it's like, I think it was just like cool for a one-time thing, and I don't really need
Well,
to see it
and
again.
I just think that they just did it because he was requested so much. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure most of like the initial like new characters for Ultimate were put in because they were requested on the Smash ballot. I'm pretty sure that was like more or less like confirmed at some point, or like it was like, oh yeah,
Hmm.
Ridley was requested a bunch, so we put Ridley in. K. Rool, Simon, you know, Ken, I think even. Um, so Isabel, right? So like, but I agree with you. Like they don't do anything with K. Rool. He wasn't even in like the last couple of Donkey Kong games,
I don't think he's
and
been in a Nintendo game since like Donkey Kong 64 or something.
you're forgetting about Donkey Kong Barrel Blast.
Oh, true. Oh,
Yeah.
wait, hold up. He was in
Oh,
Mario Super Sluggers on the Wii.
oh,
Uh,
fuck. Oh, shit. You're right. I didn't even know that, but yeah. Yeah, but I don't really give a shit. I'm
that
okay
came
if
out
we
in
cut him.
2008. That was like 14 years ago. It's
That
still relevant.
still relevant, yeah. No, we'll cut him. We'll cut him. Now, okay. Sora is interesting because he was the last character obviously added to Ultimate. He almost represents crossovers in it of himself, right? Which makes him like
his
such a
games are like the definition of crossovers.
yeah, right. He is, like he has so much like history and like, like popularity, and he is like he like bridges the gap between like Nintendo and Disney, which is like
Yeah.
noteworthy, I think. You know what I mean? Like Nintendo and like practically the biggest like media company of all time. Like that is kind of like even crazy that like he's even in the game to begin with, right? I don't think he works because they don't play into the fact that he's from a Disney game, because they can't put the Disney characters in. You know what I mean? You lose that like
It's
aspect of
also,
him.
I agree with that, and also he's kind of in a similar tier to me as like Joker and Snake, where like it's not really like a Nintendo character, you know?
Hmm.
And I guess you can make the same argument for Cloud, but like that's different to me because Cloud is very iconic.
Yeah, and
So I don't know.
I feel like Cloud works more than Sora does. You know what I mean? Because at least
I also, as much as I love Sora and I wish he would come back, I also like realistically thinking about it and knowing how greedy fucking Disney is.
yeah,
I feel like
that's the other
they
thing.
wouldn't make a new deal for him to come back.
No,
Well, you also have to consider that like Kingdom Hearts 4 is gonna come out, and like that's probably gonna be like a PlayStation exclusive. So it'd be weird for
yeah,
them to put Sora in Smash at that point. And also like there's so much wrangling that they probably had to do to get Sora in the game in the first place. Like
yeah.
I really don't think that they want to have to go through that again.
No. And I think that they wanted like the last Smash Ultimate character to be like really big, and that's why they went through with it. But I don't
Yeah.
feel like they're going to want to do that again. Or if they do that again, it's going to be with a different character, you know? So, yeah, no, I think so. I think Sora, I'm okay with cutting Sora. Um, so we are currently two characters heavy on the keeping side of it. So
Okay.
we got to cut
Well,
two of these motherfuckers.
that's the easiest thing in the world. Toon Link and Duck Hunt Dog, get him out.
Really? That's who you would. Okay.
If I
Let's not
I
forget.
agree on Toon Link. I don't.
Donovan.
I'm sorry.
Donovan
I'm
has-
sorry.
Donovan
I'm
has
sorry.
such a hard on for Duck Hunt Dog.
I'm sorry. I don't
A
think
hard
that
on.
they would keep. I don't think they would keep Game and Watch over Duck Hunt Dog. I really don't.
I think we should return to the Fire Emblem characters because there is 4 of them, which is the same amount of representation as Pokemon, I think.
But Antonio, you know they would pull that dumb shit. You know they would.
Wait, no, that's not even true. We have 3 Pokemon, I think.
Okay,
Well,
well then
Pokemon
let's get rid of-
Trainer.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we
Pokemon
have
Trainer.
Pokemon Trainer. Okay, you're right. No, I'm sorry. I think we should cut one of the Fire Emblem characters. I don't think we need 4.
Get Roy out of there.
It's
Ben and I are
between
on opposite ends of the table there because I say get rid of Ike, but he says get rid of Roy.
really.
So
Ooh,
you want to
okay.
do rock paper
This is
scissors?
interesting. Yeah,
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
for Roy or Ike. Okay.
We go rock, paper, scissors.
Wait,
shoot.
who's Roy and who's Ike?
Yeah, on shoot. I'm Roy.
I'm Ike.
Okay.
Okay, on shoot.
Go
So like
for it.
rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Shit. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Rock,
Rock, paper,
paper,
scissors,
scissors.
shoot.
This is painful to watch.
Okay, this is gonna be it. This is gonna be one. Rock,
Rock,
paper,
paper, scissors, shoot.
shoot.
Okay. You know what? We're doing this a different way. I'm gonna think of a number between 1 and 10. Whoever gets closer to that number wins, and their character stays. Okay. Donovan, what's
Kevin.
yours? Or like, what are you?
5.
And Brennan, what's yours?
7.
Okay, Donovan wins. I was 3.
Fuck.
So we're keeping Roy.
This is just like the quiz all over again. Fucking favorite and Donovan.
Yep, you're right. Yeah, yeah,
Square.
yep. Okay. So we got to cut one more. So is it really between Toon Link and Duck Hunt? Is who we're picking off of? There's no
I
other
think
ones.
Toon Link, Duck Hunt, or Game and Watch. I say Game and Watch. I might be alone in that. I say Game and Watch.
I think
we
Game and
can
Watch
I would
has
say we can do Game and Watch.
Game and Watch has such a unique like feel though.
Okay,
I
but
like
look at all the
that.
characters on here, and then look at Game and Watch. Game and Watch is
What
just
about- he fits right in. What do you mean?
he's a black outline.
He's so perfect. Yeah.
He's stupid.
I love
just
Game and
just
Watch.
have
No, I love
listen.
Game and
All you
Watch.
need
No.
to represent Game and Watch and Smash is the fucking stage. Just have the stage.
But I love Game and Watch. He's so
Why?
He moves
Why
around
do you
like
love
this.
Game and Watch?
He's like 2D and he's like a little
Okay,
guy.
all right. So I have a hard on for Duck Hunt Dog. You have a hard on for,
Yes.
for Game and Watch.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want me to think of a number now? Whoever gets closest.
Well,
gets
but
the
I'm not
characters.
saying.
No,
But,
what about Toon Link?
no, but I'm not like I think Duck Hunt should stay too. I'm not saying it's between Game and Watch and Duck Hunt. I'm just saying I don't think we should get rid of Game and
we
Watch.
have
I
to
think,
choose.
I think we should look. Okay, hold on. Let's consider.
Honestly, I'm kind of looking at Pitt and saying, "Fuck you."
You know what? I'm looking at. Ooh, this is a tough one. I was gonna say I'm looking at Little Mac.
Say it.
I'm saying I'm looking at Little Mac.
No. We
sorry.
agreed on that, Antonio.
I know.
We agreed on that.
I know, but
Actually, I would agree on Little Mac.
oh,
I wasn't
What?
there for that. I wasn't there for that conversation.
that's true.
I
Brennan wasn't
gone.
there for that. I'm sorry. It's. Okay. I was in favor of Little Mac when we were looking at him alone, but now that we're looking at him amongst everybody, it's like my viewpoint has changed. You know.
Having Little Mac, I will admit, having Little Mac in over like fucking like Sora is wild to me.
It's a little crazy. It's a little wacky.
All right. So get him out. Get him out. Get
Do
him
you
out of
agree
there.
with Little Mac?
I
Reluctantly?
I can agree with that, but it makes me sad inside.
Yeah, I
There's a
feel
lot
really
of there's a lot of
bad about
decisions we
it.
made, Donovan, that makes us
There
sad
is a lot
inside
of
too.
decisions we made. I think.
Okay, but I'm still like Game and Watch over Little Mac. That doesn't make sense to me. But okay, I'll go with it.
I don't know, man. I love Game and Watch too much. I hate playing as him, but I love him. His octopus move, man, you can't.
You know what? While you're at it, just get rid of Mario. Fuck Mario.
You're right. I don't think Mario.
Why do we
should be in
need
it
Mario
either.
in
All
the
right.
game?
Well, guys, this is the imagine it. I wonder if there's anyone out there that legitimately thinks like Mario shouldn't be in Smash Brothers. Like, he's too basic. I don't know. No, there's no way.
You know, there's some like
There's no
10-year-old
way.
who's like he's boring.
He's
Get him out.
boring. Yeah, he's boring. He's just like milk toast. Like, no, who gives a shit? Yeah, no,
It's like, dude, you are literally a fetus.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
exactly. Yeah. Okay, you know what? I'm pretty okay with the roster that we have overall. Like, I have very few issues with it. You guys might still
Over
disagree
2
with me.
hours later.
Yeah, 2 hours. It has been about 2
Yeah.
hours, hasn't it? Yeah.
Shit.
Hey, there's a lot of characters. I told these tier lists go on for a while. You know, there's a lot to say. But that being said, like, I'm very happy with.
This was a
what we
beefy
made.
chit chat. This is a very beefy
and
discussion here.
This was, you know, I know we're all ready and willing to get some rest after that.
Well,
so.
it will cut down a little bit. Antonio had some technical difficulties he needs to cut out.
That's true. just a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. That's to be expected. But all right, but that's where we're gonna wrap up the list or this chit chats. So thank you guys. We'll see how, like, in the next Smash Brothers, like, how accurate we were. I guess maybe they'll just like have a completely clean slate. Maybe they'll just not even have 45 characters. They'll just start with like 20 or 30 or something. Who knows? But I do think like pretty much everyone here, like, in the keeping section, are like pretty good picks. So
All I'm gonna say is this: if they get rid of Steve, I will be on Nintendo's doorstep.
I will not play Smash ever again.
I will not play Smash.
Nope. That's the final nail in the coffin for me.
Or you know what would be even wilder than just 20 characters?
What?
If you open the game and you could only play as Mario.
Versions of Mario, Dr. Mario. That's it. Those are the only two.
That's the game.
Yeah, that's the game. All right. Well, that being said, that's gonna wrap up this chit chats finally. And yeah, this was a pretty beefy.
If you watch this far into the video, comment Super Smash Brothers 2028 in the comment section.
Yeah, there might actually be people that come and watch this just because this is kind of like a trending sort of like format for videos. So who knows? Maybe this chit chats will get some traction. But
This is your first chit chats.
It's only like the 145th.
Send me money on Venmo.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. Dude.
Okay, let's stop the recording before this gets illegal.
Yeah. Okay, we'll stop.
Wait, I'll pull up my Venmo right now.
Thank you guys for watching. If you watched this far, and we'll see you guys in the next episode of Chit Chats. No. Chit Chats dance.
Chit Chats dance.
Yay!
What?